Welcome, everybody, to another installment of Us versus Movies. You've clicked the episode, so you know the spooktacular train keeps a rolling with Kevin and...
Dustin's here.
Yeah, Dustin.
I picked this movie, everybody.
Oh, it's the movie that you wanted, but you just didn't know you did.
Nah,
right? No,
I don't think
incorrect.
I think a bunch of people were like, "Oh, it should," and then they were like, "Oh, the Craft Legacy, huh?"
2020, rated PG-13. It's about an hour and 37 minutes. You got drama, fantasy, horror. Came out on October 28th, and Zoe Lister-Jones is at the helm of this. She did Band-Aid. It was kind of an indie darling. The biggest thing I remember hearing about that movie was basically an all-female project, except for some of the cast, a couple of males on there acting it up. But kind of a notable moment in cinema, I guess, having a whole production ran by females. Congrats to them. She took over this thing called the Craft Legacy, and this I'd heard about for a minute. They've been bubbling something to do with the craft. What are we going to do with the craft? The kids loved the craft back in the 90s, 1996 to be exact. What do we want to do with the craft? We're going to reboot it. We're going to turn it into a show. We're going to get a sequel in there. It ended real sequel-y. We could get away with a sequel. Nope. Yep. Oh, it's the Legacy. Hence, it's a sequel, Dustin.
Yeah, it's the classic, Star Wars type sequel where it's like, we're just going to retell the story, but it's in continuity, so enjoy.
Yeah.
Also, heavy emphasis on the drama part of this drama fantasy horror. Heavy influence in drama.
I'll go ahead and do you one better. I'll just go ahead and just put drama in there twice, and I'll take out the horror.
Yeah, definitely. No horror?
I think some of the performances were possibly horrible. I'm looking at you, Mr. David Duchovny.
Oh, see, my God.
I'm not a big David Duchovny kind of guy. I know, Dustin, you in the back in the day, you were an X-File guy, right?
Well, here's the thing about Mr. David Duchovny. When he's on the X-Files, I see Mulder. When he's not on the X-Files, I see a sex addict that ruined his family. So,
okay, was that Californication? Are you sourcing another show?
No, that was his real life too.
Oh, okay, very good. So they made a movie series about his real life, or is that a thing? Or
kind of, he felt a connection to the character because he was going through the same shit.
Got you. So
and then that made him go through it more or something. I don't really
like a biopic, right?
Not yes and no, but
okay.
Yeah. So when he showed up, I was just like, "Are you just playing David Duchovny? Like, what is going on here?"
I would have been happy if he would have showed up and played an actor, because this guy, I was like, man, we could get a fucking box of shredded wheat and get a better performance out of it. You suck.
Yeah, he is yeah. I mean, first of all, there's just so many characters. It's hard to to say who is the top of the shit pile, but it's probably
him.
David.
It's him, because he made my fucking teeth hurt every time he came on the screen and spoke. I mean, the last time, I'm not an X-Files guy, so aim your hate at that. But I just didn't give a crap at him. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. He played Bruce. That's the last time I cared.
Oh yeah. Well, that was when he had the hunger. He wanted to act. He wanted to sink Christina Applegate's career.
Yeah.
That was. He had the hunger. Now he's just like, listen, I've had so much sex. I'm just really. I'm exhausted, guys. I'm just real fucking exhausted. All right. Just looking at people exhausts me. I just see which orifices I've already fucked, and I'm done. I'm just real.
Yikes.
Just gonna take a nap and beat one out. So, Duchovny out. I'll be in my trailer.
Probably the most notable name in the whole film that anyone may or may not know. And then basically the Coven of girls is a lot of new entries into Hollywood. I'm sure they've probably had indie parts here and there, but I've not versed in any of their work. So you can cruise on your IMDb and kind of just poke around if you're so inclined. From the Coven to the extra family that David is a part of. His name is Adam. We just got a bunch of randos, no harm, no foul.
I mean, I didn't even know two of their names, so.
No, that's the movie's fault. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's 100% the movie, because I was like, man, I have no idea who that is and who that is. And then when I saw the credits, I was like, that was her name. I only knew one of them, and I was like, that was their name. And I was like, and you spelled that one like that? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
That's just one of the many things this movie has as a quote unquote speed bump to success.
So, you want to kick us off, Kevin? The craft legacy. You want to set the stage?
Yeah, I'd love to. So we open up in, if I remember correctly, there's a double opening, but this one we enter a room. And there's a bunch of, I assume, a teen girl's room just by the cover of the movie poster. And there's a lot of going on. So there's three girls' voices. They're all chatting and just doing just hanging out.
Too much for a fucking movie starting, just in my opinion.
Okay, there's a couple of things. This movie repeats this type of scene. I like it, but to Dustin's point, it's very clumsy, and it's kind of an epic assault I'm not easing anybody in audience wise, and everyone's just kind of like, do what now? Who's talking? What's happening?
Yeah.
Are you guys trying to express narrative? Tell a story.
It's very frantic. It's a very frantic opening. Like, I had to kind of pause, because I was like, wait, is there something? I was like, do I have something else playing? I'm hearing too much shit going on for just hitting play on a movie. But
yeah, it's the equivalent of starting the movie and then just hitting chapter select 3 times, and you're like, oh, I'll just start here.
Yeah.
And you don't really get any faces to match up with the voices, and I think that's what hurt it. Like, if they would have cut away and almost introduced me to each girl slowly, then I would have got it. But the movie finally slows down for a second.
Well, the movie doesn't want us to know any of the girls, Kevin. That's silly.
Yeah, that's another epic fail when it comes to this, is they don't take the time to introduce basically my coven of B-list characters, because while you would see they're on the movie poster, the one sheet or whatever, and they're main characters, the movie doesn't treat them as such, because the movie only cares about our main protagonist, Lily. She is basically the boss of the sauce. And this real quick scene that kind of introduces to the three girls. You may or may not get their names throughout the movie, but there's basically Lourdes, Frankie, and Tabby. I don't think Tabby's name's ever said.
No, and I don't really recall Lourdes being said.
I think it's said once, and I think Frankie said once, because Frankie's the outlandish one. She's got an opinion, and you're going to hear it. Lourdes is kind of quiet yet strong, and you find out why later. And then Tabby's kind of a little sass, little no nonsense, but very muted and reserved when she needs to be. They all have these character volumes that go up sometimes, and then they just kind of all flat and then disappear. And then Lily, and then there's Lily. We'll get into Lily when we get into Lily.
Yeah, for sure.
So we kind of right off the bat are introduced. They're doing like a seance ritual thing. They're kind of doing like the Captain Planet thing. She's north, she's south, and she's east. They all have their respective directions on the compass, representing earth, wind, and fire. And you're like, all right, let's crank that up.
They're missing the fifth one, Heart, so they're never gonna get Captain Planet.
They're never calling Planet. Planet's just sitting there waiting. He's like, well, guys are kind of close.
Yeah, there's a monkey in the forest who's just like, no, you need me and Heart.
And everybody's like, boo!
Boo! Fuck that Captain Planet! I don't recycle for shit! Tell the top 6 polluters in the fucking world.
No future.
Hashtag future's fucked.
And so they start kind of bickering amongst each other, where one wants to practice like what does she say? She wants to be a telepathic. She wants to
Yeah.
do the spell in our minds and whisper to each other mentally, and they all do their little they just cut their little promo about the points, and then they just stop and they tell they tell Tabby, you got to do the West, you got to do water. She's like, well, I don't want to do that. And then they start bickering. I'm like, okay, so you're my main characters and you're dumb as shit. You just told me you need 4 of you to do this, and you try to do it with 3, and you're still trying.
Yeah,
that's like
the Frankie, who's just her golden idea was just like, just pretend you didn't already do one. And Tabby, whose name is never spoken, is just like, nah, man, it don't work that way. And I was like, well, then why are you doing this? It seems like a waste of my fucking time.
And it's the worst thing to do, because you are introduced to these characters. It's not even been 5 seconds, and they've already proclaimed how stupid they are. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you guys are going to make it.
Yeah, why should I believe that they would ever actually become witches? Like, if they're just like, well, let's just keep trying with 3. But we need 4.
That's the thing, Dustin. They are witches already. We're waiting for our protagonist to show up to witch out and, make the team whole. I'm like, all right. Okay, this is kind of like the original. Let's see where you go with it. I get it. I'm an old fart. I don't know what they're talking about. So is this witch talk or kid talk? I don't know.
I don't know the difference.
I'm trying
to be woke, but this movie's too woke.
This movie's so woke.
It's so woke. I got tummy problems. I was just like, oh, my tummy hurts. Yeah.
This movie's so woke. I canceled my Twitter and turned off Facebook, and I just said, you know what? I want to just hide under my bed.
I just watched TikTok for fucking 30 hours straight, just trying to fucking figure out what's going on in the world, because I don't know. I definitely don't think we should let kids vote. Not anymore. Not after seeing this movie.
I was scared as hell.
Like, we should raise the age and then lower the, max it. Like, just really put in like the 20-30 range, 20-30-40 range. That's it.
Thanks, Craft Legacy. This is your fault.
This is your fault that I'm thinking like this. You made me old. So.
I will say, on the one thing I do want to give the movie credit for, they sounded like friends, and they did sound age appropriate. So that's always a big thing when they have little kids talk like adults. That kind of drives me up the wall. They had a young voice, and I believed it when I heard it. Granted, what they were saying was pretty stupid, but
just like real kids, though.
Yeah, to that same degree. But they're like witch kids, and they're still dumb. So I was like, being a witch, I guess, doesn't make you smarter. Like, where's the brainy one? Someone put on some glasses and get real smart, like they did back in my day.
Did you see the large print font in that book that they were using? Like, someone might have a learning disability in that group, and it was just like,
bad eyes.
Really, or just needs to accept that they need to wear fucking glasses and just, but yeah, the print was so, I was just like, Jesus, is this book, like, are you hiding this shit, or do you just want, like, the world to see? Because, my God, I can read everything. So.
You know what? What the world wants to see is Lily just shotgunning it with her mom. They're dragging the U-Haul. They're on the open road. And you know what? They're just kind of thinking about life. And why think about it when Alanis Morissette can narrate it for you with a song?
Yeah. They were just like, here's our nod to the 90s when we couldn't actually afford this song for the soundtrack, but we got that one actually good one, that the only song that anyone remembers from the soundtrack. I don't remember how it goes,
It's the one
that shouted out.
What? Whoa, dude, that's Republica? What the fuck?
Okay,
did you hit your head?
That
this
was
is my hands in the pocket, and the other one's flicking a cigarette.
No, I know. What I'm the correlation I'm making is,
are you trying to build your own original soundtrack?
Alanis Morissette in the 90s when she was, the big A game, but they could break out stars. But now the roles have reversed, and they probably couldn't afford the song from the original Craft, but they could afford Alanis.
They probably could. Wasn't the Craft was part of that whole movie original soundtrack era where you got a good original soundtrack and that shit will sell on its own.
Yeah,
That's
fucking 90s love that. Sometimes the song didn't even make it into the movie, but it was on that soundtrack. You're like, when was this fucking song in there? Dumb and Dumber was like that. It had like 5 bonus tracks. It was like 5 bonus tracks. I was like, these weren't in the fucking movie. What the hell? Because I bought it. It worked on me.
Yeah, I mean, like back in the day, original soundtracks would chart on Billboard. Like it's crazy. That doesn't exist anymore, and I blame the SoundCloud. But we have them. They're having a moment. They're singing the Alanis Morissette jam. Lily is just hit with emotions because it's like her favorite shit. I don't really think it's that. She's just kind of overcome by the reasons they're leaving, they're picking up, and they're moving. And you kind of don't know.
Whoa. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, you're giving them already too much, because I was just like, does this song make you sad? Is it a bad song? I don't understand.
Yeah, no, you can tell because the mom stopped singing too, and mom's like, I don't know the words. I was like, you're a fucking liar. Everyone knows the words. Everyone. Gun to your head, mom. You're gonna fucking linear notes. Do you need them? You're gonna know the words. Don't fucking lie to me. You're lying to me as a viewer. You've lost me.
I'll fucking see you on a lip sync battle. Prove it. Prove you don't know it.
And she's just like, Lily, pick up the fucking beat. Drop it. Drop the beat. And Lily's like,
Lily, I don't want to deal with heavy shit right now. Just be happy, please.
Lily starts beatboxing. She's like, I suck.
Real sad.
And you're like, well, what's wrong? You want to talk about it, Lily? We got like another 400 miles to go to whatever godforsaken East Coast town we're going to.
But they don't.
No, they don't chop it up. Lily just kind of shrugs it off. She's like, I'm a big boy now. I'm wearing my big boy pants. She's like, good, because Mama's going to go get some big boy ding-a-ling. Oh, we're going to meet Adam.
Yeah. No, we're not just going to go meet him. We're going to go
live with him.
Move in with him and just be
a family.
A Brady-ish bunch family minus a couple members and the housekeeper. So
Adam, played by David Duchovny, as we said earlier.
Ducov.
Really quick, Lily has these stupid earrings. They're almost like Christmas bows.
Gigantic. They were crosses, but they were gigantic.
Were they Christmas bows as crosses, like to mix it up?
It was just so like the bow part you're seeing is because it's so massive. It had like indentation on it, and so I think you were seeing the kind of rivet designed of it or whatnot. So yeah,
they were touching her shoulder from her earlobe, and she's a small girl to begin with, and I was like, dude, those earrings weigh more than you.
They were just so, I don't know.
They were too much because her head is small and her face is small, and I just kept looking at the earrings, and they're distracting the shit out of me.
They were so distracting. I was just like, wow, what am I supposed to get from this scene? I don't know. That the earrings are big. I can't glean anything else from this.
And she has a little pixie haircut, so the earrings are just like, hello, I'm in the movie too. I'm like, fuck, hello. The earrings got their own fucking title card.
Like, I'm gonna get SAG. Watch me.
And the
fucking watch me.
As the earrings.
Yeah. So they pull up and she sees
Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Yeah, they have to do mom's makeup. She's got to do mom's makeup for.
You look beautiful, Mom.
That was a really long amount of time to kind of do nothing.
Well, she just threw out some eyeliner, and I was like, get some foundation. Let's get those lips popped. Let's get some pencil. I don't know.
Come on, Michelle Mahonigan.
Tighten up. That's all I wanted to say to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is the first guy I've ever had a connection with. You're so supportive. We're basically starting over.
Yeah.
And the Lily's riding shotgun on her life because she's not old enough to get her own. And you're like, oh, wow, this is a big emotional step. Maybe she's crying because she was happy for her mom, all the emotions, just leaving her life and starting a new one. We find out Lily's kind of friendless as she doesn't have any. But maybe she'll make some in Newtown, right, Dustin?
Yeah, maybe like 3 of them or something. Maybe 4. maybe 3.5. I don't know.
Not before some yellow black bomba cuts across the grass.
Yeah, so she's and she's very retro. She's got a Polaroid camera. Not that we ever really see the pictures or something.
No, you do see pictures later on, her and Timmy.
Yeah, but none of the ones that she actually took. Like, the whole point of a Polaroid is that you can then see it.
So
but
people
we
can
only
go,
see
don't you
things
got
that
a
she
fucking
took
phone?
years. Yeah. No, she does, and she has I don't know if the phone was massive or just massive in her hand, but I was like,
dude.
how do I get a phone that big in my hand?
Yeah,
Do I
you
need
got
a
to be
tinier hand?
You got to be 3'5" and like in the craft legacy
Like,
2020.
this is why they still make tiny ass fucking phones, isn't it? That's why I can't get a jumbo fucking phone.
For tiny people. So here's another thing. She's so awkwardly, I don't want to say like retro. She dresses like her costume, whoever dressed her, like
Yeah.
wardrobe, she dresses like an old lesbian bookstore owner. And I'm just like, what the fuck is your vibe?
It's weird. It's so weird because you can't even say it's like, it's not even that it's like 90s inspired. It's like weirdly
Cafe chic,
in the
hipster,
awkward era. Like, she wears
thrift
pearls
store
at one
cowboy.
point, and I was like,
Yeah.
why are you wearing? You look like Marge Simpson right now. That's all I could think of. I was like, why are you wearing pearls? You're in high school. Who the fuck is going to high school wearing pearls?
It's really weird. Like I don't pick up what she's putting down. Like, it's just odd. I just didn't get it. I was like, maybe I'm so fucking uncool. I
don't know. Everyone's wardrobe was pretty awkward. And like, if you're a dude in this movie, you're just fucking hoodie up 24/7. Like,
I mean,
to the point where I didn't even, sometimes I was like, which brother are you?
I'm wearing one right now, Dustin. So I felt the hoodie vibe. I was like, I get it. I get where these guys are coming from.
Yeah, that's probably realistic, but that's also just, it was like horrible for, I don't know, things in general. Because I'm just gonna kind of lay out a few problems I had with this movie, Kevin.
Wait,
I had two major
the whole
problems.
movie, or just like
the whole movie? You're not gonna
see 10 minutes that we've covered.
I mean, yeah, like,
because that's
right,
really.
Let's get into the house, and then I can address problem number one.
I mean, that's what we do. If this is your first episode of Us versus Movies, we talk about it extensively, maybe to nausea. And that's why that runtime wasn't what it was when you clicked this episode. Like 2 hours. It's something else. Ugh.
And he's what just guessing because we don't even know right now, but well, it'll probably be that.
High 2 hours is usually the ballpark.
Yeah. So Dave comes out, and Dave playing Adam, which, let's be honest, he's just playing David Duchovny. He comes out, and he cut some weird thing on Lily. He's just like, I met you on your turf, but you're on my turf now, Missy. And I was just like,
what the fuck? How about
I was like,
how was the drive? Doing? Good to see you.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdo.
He's just like, you're on my fucking turf now, little girl.
We're the whole
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you see that fucking house? That's my fucking house. I'm not staying on your couch again because you didn't like me sharing a fucking full-size bed with your mom, okay?
We spoon. I'm the big spoon. Don't you? You're looking at big spoon now.
No, I will never be the little spoon. You hear me?
Lily's
I will
like,
not have anyone have
Polaroid you.
She's like, I won't have anyone with hand access to my boner. Okay, I want that boner touching someone. Big spoon Duchovny here. I mean, Adam. It's just like, all right, take it again. Duchovny, please, none of that. Let's go again. He's like, all right, welcome to my shit house. Anyway, Kevin, take us into the house.
Oh wait, there's more awkwardness. He does that football and sports analogy, and Lily's like, dude, what?
It's such a long introduction, and
he's like, is that a camera? He's like, motherfucker, what does it look like? Oh, yeah, she's weird. Look at her. You've met her before. She's into weird shit.
It felt like their first time on set meeting each other. Like, they didn't do any table reads or anything. He was just like, so you're the person in the movie, I guess?
And
like a small.
The mom did a great job. She kind of held the scene together. She's like, "Oh, it's so great to see you, love." And then get in. He's like, "Let's take a selfie." And I was like, "Is this movie told through Polaroids? Is this what we're doing?"
Yeah, and you don't see that Polaroid.
Because the problem is, it's probably a part of her character that we don't want to venture into and give her any depth or something to signify. She's just Lily. She's just the littlest one.
You're just Lily. Just new to school Lily. So, yeah, he makes some football analogy, and then he's just like, the boys, I think they even showered. And I was like,
oh, am I right, everybody?
Fucking,
boys, they like to roughhouse.
Yeah, you fucking smelly teenage boys. We're just, we're not allowed to do any other stereotypes, just attack teen boys.
This?
That's fine.
Hey, the boys are inside. I made them kind of hang out. I want them to get, let's get acquainted and meet you guys. And, they can help with the bags and unload your U-Haul. Just, something friendly and welcome into the home. Why do you got to be so
attack
weird?
The uncontrollable musk that, they have developed because of hormones.
Well,
all teenagers go for it, but low-hanging fruit, let's just go for it.
I think it leads to something else, Dustin, which we'll venture into further as the movie. It was just like shotgun to your face. Here's what I'm trying to say.
And if you thought Adam's warm welcoming was not warm enough, wait till you meet the boys.
This I didn't really mind because they kind of acted like boys. I mean, they were borderline disrespectful. They could have just been like, hi, how's it going? But they were real awkward and kind of just still being like,
I guess
borderline rude / awkward, where I was just kind of like, if they're so disciplined like their dad says, wouldn't they have been more respectful to his future possible wife, I assume, and your new sister?
Because they come down instantly when he calls them, but then they're just like, I'm not saying shit to you.
Yeah, so it's like
no effort at all. Like they're just, and you don't,
they're like attack dogs, right? They're dogs that he's trained, right? So they respond to him.
Well, and here's my problem, Kevin. We have so many characters, and we choose to develop one and kind of a second one. Honestly, two. One. We developed two characters and loosely on the one.
My counterpoint is she just happens to be on the screen the most.
Yes, exactly. Like, we wrote a story around her, so occasionally she stumbles down character development road.
Yeah,
sheerly by accident. Just
from sheer exposure.
Yeah. They were like, well, we got so many goddamn mulligans going on here. Just some of them worked in her favor, And
I guess I can comment on that as well before we get into like specifics. A lot of this movie going forward feels like it. I know there was a lot of like, what are we going to do with this series, this property, what have you? This felt like it wanted to be a TV movie to lead into a series. Like, hey, this is our opening series. It's a 2-hour special. And now we're going to be like on Netflix and you'll get 45-minute intervals every other. Oh, look, we dropped them all at once. That's what it felt like it wanted to be, because with the ending is so just abrupt and out of place, even though it should be at the end.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beats, a lot of characters not developed, it's just a lot of pacing issues. And I feel like maybe that's what it was. And they were like, no, let's just drop it as a movie because fuck it.
Well, and I wonder how much COVID played into effect, because I did read that they had some, production hangups because of that. So,
well,
then it's like, still, I don't see where you would have developed these characters without making this movie extremely long.
Right. So. And I think just with the production comment that you made, so there's basically with theaters in flux and there's really no uncertain, basically the future's uncertain for them. And everyone's trying to pivot to streaming.
Yeah.
And a lot of places are just thirsty for content. And a lot of them, they're like, hey, we're just trying to get it all out there while we could kind of strike when the iron's hot. A lot of bigger movies like the Mulans of the world, they're trying to make it the norm. So you don't have that 3-tier structure of kind of like theater, sell the rights to streaming, or some sort of syndication, home release, physical media style, right? We've been doing for years. So the studios are they're in this weird pivoting stage and they don't really know what to do. And I think this is kind of evidence of it, where they can't sit on it forever, because it's not like a Wonder Woman or a Black Widow where they're just like, hey, this drops at any time and people are going to come out of the woodwork and we want to get our maximum profit from it, right? And
Yeah, it's very much like when pirating music was kind of changing the music industry.
right, the
Only,
digital formats, like the physical
yeah,
media is just fallen to the wayside. And the film has been that, and I think it's been growing that way. And the studios have just like had a chokehold on the theaters. That was kind of like their last bastion. And then China came along, and that was like their upper echelon. But now with all this political shit going on in China, I mean, this is go totally all these different things, and no one wants to touch China of all these human rights issues. So Hollywood's kind of like, fuck, let's backpedal a little bit on that. That's getting too spicy.
yeah,
And now they're kind of in this like, how do we play now with this limited field? It's this chess game, and we're losing pieces, and we got movement issues. So
yeah.
that's like a huge, long, complicated answer for something that could just be something they just wanted to squirt out because it's Sony at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I'm sure there's been plenty of rumors and stuff, but like that's kind of like anything, especially anything when they're going to reboot it. It's like, oh, what do we do? TV, this, that, the other, So I don't put any stock until I see like a trailer and they're
and still you
going
don't
to
even know
press
what you're going to get. It could be a movie that's been chopped up, like I don't know, was it like Lock and Key, something that was basically going to be more feature-esque, and they were like, chop it up and fucking spread it out and have it not make any sense. It's not watchable, everyone, but it's content, and that's what we need to do is fill those streaming services.
Well,
so we meet the boys.
We meet the boys. Does it matter what their names are? Maybe. We meet the oldest, Isaiah. He'll never talk. Then we meet Jacob. He says 3 lines of dialogue, and some of it's another person's name. And then we meet Abe, whose name is never, ever, ever spoken. He's just the youngest one.
Large,
and
medium, and small. Think of them as meal deals.
Yeah. The small one, he gets to talk the most, which is real strange, because even then he doesn't say shit. So
well, no, he's the one that tries to give you a little bit of fucking character development and insight. And you're just like, okay. And then the other one's just with a friend all the time. And then one is just kind of like, he's
got some darkness.
Yeah, emotions, not in this household.
Not in this household.
This could be just me creating this with the boys react like dogs being trained, because it goes into how their dad raises them and kind of basically teaches them to interact in the world, to interact with females, to interact with pretty much anyone. They're very macho. Machismo is the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
The poison, the toxicity of masculinity is represented as the opposition for our protagonists.
And David Duchovny.
And yeah, in the form of David, I guess you're going to be here to do some acting for us, Duchovny. So
when it's convenient for you to show up, Dave, if you can, get your dick back in your pants, please.
Dave, can you just put the fucking New Balances on and stand in the woods so we can wrap this up?
Seriously. Just don't even get to there, because if we go to the ending, we'll never fucking bother with the rest of it. So, but yeah, so we've met the boys. Everyone's settling in. She's got like the best room in the house somehow. It's massive. It's a massive room. And granted,
Cute
we
room.
only see
Loved it.
Yeah, we only see one other person's room. It doesn't look as big though, for sure.
Oh. Dustin over here, size queen, everybody. Oh,
I mean, I was just kind of like, man, why'd she get the good room? Like,
it's a nice house. Like the set piece of the house.
Nice house.
I really liked it.
Yeah. And then mom comes in. She's just like, yo, kid, you're the best. Thank you. I know this is crazy. And then she's just like, you're good, mom. You're good. And she's like, you ready for school? She's just like, yeah, sure, I guess. And then boom, we're getting off the school bus. I was like, at least that was fucking quick. That's the one fucking quick thing in this movie, probably. It's like, it'll just get you out of a scene sometimes. Just like, oh, okay. I mean, awkward Duchovny. We stay there. We watch them walk into the house fucking 30 yards in front of her. But talk about school. We're there. We're fucking there. And then we meet my favorite character, Kevin. My fucking favorite character.
The teacher or Timmy?
Timmy. We meet Timmy. They get off the bus and then, oh, yeah, just Timmy. Oh, if you ever wanted a classic bully,
Timmy.
Timmy.
Okay, I agree. Timmy is a bit. He's
I loved both versions of Timmy. I'll put it that way.
Yes, he's Two Stone. Timmy. He is very 80s bad guy bully archetype. Like, just he looks like a dickhead. He just got the buzzed head, the hoodie, just scowling all the time, and just real like, fuck you, nerd. Like, he's just literally that. At a fucking cookie cutter, just boom. That guy is your typical Revenge of the Nerds jock bully guy.
Yeah. So.
And he loves beating up on women. I don't really get it.
That was, I mean, Timmy's got some problems. He's got some problems. To say the very least, he has got like some fucking problems.
I don't think one male gets bullied in this movie. But this kind of jockish, he's bigger than all the girls. Yeah. And he bullies them. I'm like, bro, that's like bad.
Yeah. and so, like, to touch on it real quick, the first craft, this is in the 90s when we had 20-year-olds playing high school students. That was just like the fucking norm. This movie, yeah, in some cases, yes. This movie, I do believe that these were all like, very age-appropriate casted women. Mm-hmm. And the boys were probably college. They were probably all, I mean, except for the little one, but they were all college kind of.
I didn't see it. I get what you're saying. I think they were just so aggro and alpha. They're just so big. Yeah. And I think that just kind of, which works in the movie, it makes them dominant opposition. But as the movie progresses, Timmy's not all of what you think.
No. But at this beginning point, he is the classic dickhead bully. And so we're in class. We're listening to a teacher read. I don't know what he's reading. I don't remember what he's reading. But he sounds like, why the fuck am I reading this?
Why don't we just pull a TV in here and we'll just watch Flubber? Fuck it.
We'll just watch Flubber. Who likes Robin Williams? Because I do. That's right. We're watching the remake, the good one.
There you go.
And then Timmy just like starts fake heaving. He's just like, oh, fucking sick. Oh. just real animated, real prickish. And all the boys start laughing, and of course, little Lily gets a little.
Little Lily is now a woman.
Yeah, she is now a woman. She got her period.
Her Aunt Flo came in. It just fucking tapped her out. Just slapped her in a fucking chokehold. Lily was like, I can't breathe. Aunt Flo was just like, yeah. What you gonna do when Aunt Flo runs wild on you?
Aunt Flo was. It was storm season. And
Storm and Norman.
Storm and Norman and fucking not a lot of made it, okay? There's a lot of old palm trees that were knocked down. I'm just saying.
Aunt Flo just ride on a Sherman tank, just crushing through.
He's like, I'm fucking here. You're a woman now. Fucking.
Yeah,
fucking
Timmy's like, fucking murder scene.
Yeah. Timmy's just got that just what you would expect most men that were just like saw menstrual blood and was just like, oh God, you're a woman and you reminded me.
I'm not a woman, nor have I ever been one. I don't get that part of like, do you like just not know? Does it just hit you? And it's like, people write in, let me know, educate me. I'm real stupid. Do you like just get ready? Because don't you feel it? Shouldn't she have like cramps or something? Or just, I've known women.
The cramps don't. I mean, I think well, first of all, from my limited knowledge, because again, I have never been a woman either, but from the women in my life, it's a bit different for everyone. And I imagine some can and some can't. And
like it's like a sixth sense kind of thing. We're just like, dude, I feel like I'm gonna just rip somebody's ass up today. You're like, oh, I must be on my period. I better fucking pad up because I'm a 4-dayer. Like, what do you? I don't even know.
Heavy flow, motherfucker. So, but I do think I just feel like this has to. Even if it really happens, it's so movie cliche to have it happen this way That's
Like she did,
that's
she
kind of
wasn't
the
even
unforgivable
like,
part,
because
you
most
know?
from what I understand, oh, I'm spotting. I gotta have a little, oh, the little spotty. This chick wasn't spotty. I thought someone kicked over a jug of barbecue sauce. She caught it with her crotch. I was like, holy shit, Timmy, get in here. You gotta see this.
Yeah, yeah. She's a little too
Timmy was like, whoa.
like I don't know who got that blood out of those pants
I
later on
don't
because
know
the
who
movie
the janitor
pretends
was
to.
like, I'm not cleaning this up. I'm
The
not.
janitor's like, listen, I got some fucking sawdust, the hamster shit. I usually use it for the puke. I'm just gonna put some down and call it a day.
I got a
Okay.
wild dog out here. He might lap it up. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just so she just leaves the
So
room
mature.
embarrassed.
So
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
The
for
teacher
me.
is just like he's as inept as Timmy is. He's just like, "Oh, damn, girl, what's going on?" Like he's just no help. He's just like, "Oh," because he's just like, "What's going on, Timmy? You want a fucking goddamn detention, huh?"
And I'm just like, and he gets it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
The
is
next
this
day.
more of that male masculinity just being actually on this podcast? We're not being sensitive to her. Like, we don't know what it's like. So why are we even addressing it? Why are we even talking about it? We're speaking out of turn. Lily went through something that's very womanly, and we have no right to criticize her, make fun of it. We're out of control.
I think we're criticizing the Hollywood amount of blood that they made. Like they had it like pooling down the chair and such.
No, I know.
And
I saw it. If I
yeah,
was, yeah, I
like
I
that's the
was
part where I was just like, okay, I think she needs to see a doctor. I don't think that's normal, especially not for a first timer. I don't think that I would, if I was a parent, I would be concerned.
I'd call
I'd be like,
Guinness. I'd be like, listen, we got a record breaker. And Guinness is like, how half of these are fake and bought. I'm like, really? I was so young and I thought, so fooled.
You can just get about anything in here. But
let's get her to the bathroom, please.
Yeah, she goes very
really
appropriately. She goes to the bathroom. She has no idea what the fuck to do. So.
Really quick, the other three girls, we'll just call them the Coven. They're here in the back, and they just kind of look at each other like, "Hey, girlfriends, let's unite and let's solve this problem."
It seemed to me like they were like, "Oh shit, we found our fourth already."
Like they could smell it. And I was like,
shit. That was a weird thing to surmise from that. That's how I took it. Like they were like, she's our fourth.
I would like
from that. That's kind of fucked up and rude. But
I would like to think that they were just kind of being little sisterhood of the traveling pants there.
I don't know. It still seemed like a self-serving agenda. But
I think we only know that just because we know the context of the movie, right? So we know we got to get them together. So let's just do this. So I let the movie. I was like, hey, let's just play fair. I figure they know what it's like to be bullied. Timmy's on fucking scoring all nines over here. So they're just like, hey, you know what? Fuck that guy. He's a dick eater. Don't even worry about it. And they kind of bail her out of the bathroom. She's just embarrassed and just all fucking just first day of school and you're fucking bleeding on the floor. You're a legend.
Yeah, they have just every right answer planned. Like Frankie's just like, you have a heavy flow and that's something to be proud of, and just like
a lot of feminist answers,
like,
right? A lot of rah, like sister. That's what I was thinking. Like not sister. That's on Netflix. But I was thinking like there's that unity there, and I was like, this is a clear line in the sand of like what you're going to get from the movie.
Yeah, and so she takes the pants, and don't they hang out later on? Is it the same day or the next day? I don't know.
I think it cuts to the next day because
don't they still kind of like talk to her though, and then because after that it's the lunch scene.
It's the lunch scene, and she's wearing the shorts, so she's kind of like, I guess I'm talking to you guys. Yeah. And then Frankie catches her necklace she keeps fumbling with.
Yeah, they all see it, and they see that it's a witchcraft necklace. It's representing the
4 points.
The 4 points. And they're just like, you definitely have to hang out with us. And, just start talking to her, and eventually she ends up at home, and she's just kind of rummaging, and she goes through Adam's office, I guess. I don't know. It's not really established what it is, but there's a bookshelf. So it's how would you describe the bookshelf, Kevin?
It's of quality.
Is this one of quality? I mean,
like
I found it a bit tacky to have the newspaper clipping just like hung awkwardly there, but you know.
Well, that's his Mel Bravado, right?
But it was just so awkwardly placed.
Yeah, but I think it's more character inducing of like where this is what we get. He's projecting. Look at all his manly trophies. Look at all his awards, and so the bookcases were fine. They looked like they could hold a lot of weight. The books were dispersed evenly. It was really clean, legible. She grabbed the one she needed. It was fine.
Yeah. And then I don't really. I mean, I know the pants get washed, and we don't know who washed them. Maybe it was Adam. The mom says, and you're just like,
I would like to think it was, because just me piecing together from what I know about watching the whole movie, basically her shit drops and everyone, like, her power meter goes off. She's like 9,000 right now, right? So everyone can sense that she's got the Force. She's literally Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan just put her on if Obi-Wan's her period. So now she's just like, I'm Force sensitive. I'm touching shit. The other witches are picking up on it. Other characters are picking up on it. And it's more of like, I think he did it as a power check. He was like, it tastes like power to me. And everybody's like, ew.
He's like, this one's ripe.
You're gross.
The Coven don't care as long as it's legal. You're just like, oh, God, Dave, calm down. He's like, I have real problems.
Don't ever hit a sentence like that.
I already did. So
as long as it's legal. I know it's legal. I got a legal Zoom and it told me. Legal Zoom's like, fuck yeah.
He's like, Dave, we're gonna block your account because we're not liking the questions we're getting from you, man. Just a lot of
Dave, all the leaks you're sending us, making our web of trust go crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna mark you as spammed and blocked. Okay, just don't contact us anymore. And then so the next day, Timmy's at it. He's at it early. So he's touching her and getting uncomfortably close to little Lily.
Real rapey.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Timmy, it's fucking early in the morning, and you're like, make someone uncomfortable meter is like fucking 1,000 right now. You're 11 on the dial, and it only goes up to 10. So
yeah. Well, I know when guys try to touch me like that, I hit them with a force push.
Dude, if anyone tried to touch me like that, force push. So
and she does. He goes flying.
Yeah. Timmy flies off. Timmy's like, what the fuck just happened? You know, he's fine, but he's just like, what the fuck just happened? And then the teacher is just like, principal's office, both of you. And
detention for life. Fuck you. No MMA in the hallway.
Is this indicative of teachers and male teachers in high school? They just see any two people like have a interaction, like the tiniest girl in the world somehow throws a big rapey guy off her. He's just like, fuck your principal's office. I don't have time to deal with you, little Lily. You just get in there, okay?
Yeah. I found that a little bewildering as well. I was like, why is my friend here getting little Lily? They done nothing. She just got like your school rapey guy off of her because no one else. You were there to put her in detention or whatever, but you weren't there to get the rapey guy off her.
Yeah, he was just like, listen, little Lil, that's not my fucking department, okay? I see pushing and shoving in the halls. That's my fucking department.
He's a superior hall monitor.
Yeah. So, and then we just jettisoned to the detention where rapey Timmy is looking at little Lily, and he's just like, little Lily, you fucking got me detention? I am so angry at you.
He throws us some snide remarks, and he's just being real scummy, and little Lily staring off into space. She's counting tiles. And then all of a sudden, she hears Frankie. Is that her name, Frankie? Yeah, Frankie's head. Frankie's head? Herman's head. Great show. He hears Frankie's voice in her head, because she's doing the whole telepath thing.
Yeah, she finally got her fucking wish. She got the telepath shit going on.
And to the movie's defense, I still like that the girls they're still in their character in a way of kind of just being high school girls. Just like, oh my God, it's working. Like Frankie's kind of talking like everyone can hear the conversation, but she's like, okay, if you'd hear me, get out of there, leave detention. And then she's like, okay. And she raises her hand. I got to go use the bathroom. And then the guy's like, yeah, okay, just make it quick. And she grabs their shit and they're like, grab your stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I got to grab my stuff. And then she goes to walk around. I don't know why she keeps walking towards Timmy. She's an idiot.
I don't know. And the teacher's like, why do you need your shit? And he's just like, you don't know? She's on the rag. And I was like, damn, Timmy, you say that? I don't think teenage boys say that, but okay, whatever, you know.
Timmy is an HR nightmare. That's
yeah, Timmy is. He's like, hey, fucking, did you hear? She's surfing the crimson wave, man. And he's just like, Timmy, come on.
And if you think about it,
I don't take that from my wife. I'm not going to take that from you, okay?
He's more grown than he is young, and he still goes by Timmy. What happened?
Yeah, I mean,
I will take Timothy, or I will take Tim.
He's dealing with a lot, Kevin.
Or Tulumbo. I would have took.
I mean, I will bullshit this and say that his mom called him Timmy, and he was just like, I'm gonna hold on to that and never let go.
Mom's dead, everyone. You find out later.
Oh, come on, dude. Just like.
Sorry.
Anyway, we were going to tell him anyway.
Timmy's character reveal.
Yeah, so they come out, and then Frankie's just like, hey, I know you're 2 feet out of the door, but let me just, like, blow the lid off on this by being Frankie. So, Frankie was my least favorite character. She's just a little too Frankie. So.
She's a real Frankie. She's got, like, a cheetah print coat. She's real New Jersey up in here. Jersey in the building.
Even though I think Little Lily was actually from Jersey. I think that's where they moved from. So
I think so. Little Lily didn't scream Jersey. Frankie screamed Jersey.
Yeah, no, Frankie screamed like Jersey, like got kicked out of Jersey because she was too Jersey. Even Jersey was like, come on, Frankie, like calm down. And she was just like, nah, man, I'm the New Jersey. And they were like, nah, Frankie,
I'm the New Jersey.
I'm the New Jersey.
I'm like, damn, she's tough.
That sounds trashy. Get out of here.
Little Lily, just kind of sticking it to the man and any kind of rules. She's a rule breaker now. They're just like, hey, let's get out of here. I think we just found our fourth. We're going to explain magic to you because guess what? You're magical. It's magically delicious. We're going to talk about magic, and then we're going to speak, and then we're going to talk about boys we like. And then we're going to. And as a viewer, I was like, speak. Everyone, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like,
I like
Lily was like, okay, I'm trying to like process. And I was like, me too, Lily. Thank you for talking. This is the only time I'm going to say thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah.
But it stopped them from being so just unbelievably excited. Like, I just don't, I get that happens and stuff, but I was just like, hey, movie, there's a reason we don't do this in movies. It's really hard for the audience to give a fuck about what anyone said. Because I'm basically just picking a character and being like, all right, I guess I'm just going to listen for your voice and hope you're saying stuff that's important. No, that's okay.
I totally agree. Like them being so exuberant and hyped and just all these things. I was like, we just need to bring it down for the viewers' sensibilities. And I'm okay with having maybe 2 of the girls chatting in the back of excitement, but let's raise the level of the protagonists so they can have a dialogue so we can focus in and go, hey, looks like they want her to be the fourth. They're actually pretty good girls. They bailed her out from an embarrassing moment. They have this new link with each other, which could be this magic, whatever, however you want to play it. I don't give a crap. They do it. It's just very convoluted and it's just sloppy. So, and Lily comes off a bit slow to it all because I can't really blame her in this instance. And there was no happy medium, like you said. Like there needed to be. I love their excitement, but you got to remember you're trying to tell a story really quick.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think they end up in like the woods or something.
Yeah, they take them to like their practice seance place. Like just their little. This is kind of like a nod to the first movie. There's a couple of nods in there. This happens to be one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
They start setting it up and kind of giving her like the crash course and like I guess thinks she's taking a dump because he's like, she never came back.
Yeah, Timmy's like, she's never coming back, man. He's just like, Timmy, I don't give a fuck. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Little Lily's got to take
goddamn crimson wave, brown waves. I don't want to hear it. Okay, stop talking about body functions this way.
You fucking weirdo.
You're failing biology. Think about that, Timmy. Think about that. So.
And then they basically set up the seance. She gets her crash course, and all right, everyone recite your water. She's like,
they don't remember to tell her that until they've already started, because I guess they're just that excited.
Which is okay because I'll chalk it up to excitement. But Dustin, this is an important scene because this only happens twice in the movie. They basically talk about her period. She's a woman, and basically she's force sensitive now, right? So they talk about, it's one of the most beautiful things we do as women. We're responsible for life. We can do so many things that way. And then Lourdes says, "Baby, all you guys can." And you're like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, so she's transgender. That character says it, and they also acknowledge it again. So hey, listen, no problem with it whatsoever. Awesome that is representation in the movie. I think it should be more things. I think it should be it's a part of the life. They should be in movies and have representation just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But you're telling me you're a witch, and you're telling me you're sensitive because we're all females here. She gets her powers because of when she becomes a woman, I assume. So I don't know if Lourdes is becoming a woman the same way, but if her plumbing, is it a plumbing thing or is it a spiritual thing? Is it a mental thing? What are the rules?
Yeah.
And I got confused, and I was like,
I have no answers for you because I thought the same thing too. I was just like, okay, I don't know how this works with the story you were telling until we got here. And I'm very accepting of it, but you were telling me something completely different, and then you got here, which is where kind of my other problem with this movie begin. Well, one of the other problems. I don't even fucking remember. I got so many goddamn problems with it. Oh no, I know the other problem. Actually, we skipped over one of the problems.
What was it?
My major problem is that no one knows how to knock in this movie. And she walks in on her brother.
Oh, that happens when she's having a moment. They try to, she's in the house. She's in the
shorts. Yeah. That's when it's in the shorts. It's after the period thing.
And this is another problem with the movie. So the movie wants to do spooky things, right?
Yeah.
Because it knows it's kind of just like this teen drama with like supernatural elements. And it's like, no, we're spooky. We got to have some horror moments. And you hear this woman screaming, and
it sounds exactly like her mom's voice.
The first thing I'm thinking of, it just kind of sounds like a female voice, right? Yeah. I'm thinking, number one, I'm like, hey, your mom's with her husband now. She's probably getting piped. That's the first thing I'm thinking.
Or whatever they are. I don't know if they're husband and wife. But
piping is happening.
Definitely getting piped. Someone's getting piped.
She did drive 400 miles to not get piped.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
She drove 400 miles to get piped. Like
piping. Yeah. This is the Mario Brothers right now. Piping is happening. And you got three dudes. When they're not thinking about piping, they're waxing their pipe. So
they're making sure the pipe works. They're just like, you work today, pipe? I better find out. Who else is going to do it for me?
Me every day, all the time, constantly.
All the time. I'm just thinking about it right now.
When I'm not thinking about piping, I'm piping.
I'm a teenage fucking plumber. So
imagine Mario Brothers as teenagers. The whole fucking game would just take place under the sheets.
Yeah, just like,
hit B to jack off. Well, you said it. We're Nintendo.
We're Nintendo.
You don't hit B, you wiggle the stick, right? Get it? They love the motion control.
You gotta do the game control, they call it, where you just like bounce it. You gotta take the two controllers off.
It's just like, a dildo.
This is a Joy-Con. This is a Joy-Con.
So. Mario Brothers, whack off. And she just like, hey, I'm just gonna open the door. Oh, what are you jerking off? I'll close the door. And I'm like, dude, knock.
Yeah. And this is the only time you hear me. He goes, like he's just like, what are you doing?
This guy's doing salami inventory, and you're fucking just opening doors.
Yeah, I was like, you think your mom's getting railed in your
wanna
new
see that?
stepbrother's room? Like, yeah, I was just like, it made zero sense, and it began my biggest problem, which is no one knocks on a door before they open. Like, who just goes into people's rooms, never once knocking on the door?
This is what it is, Dustin. That's the male masculinity of always having to do fucking salami control. And she just had to check him. She's like, hey, no beating off here.
She's
This
like,
is fucking feminism.
Put your meat away. Turn that down. Use headphones, for God's sakes. Like, what were you thinking?
Here's an idea, dude. Lock your door.
Man, lock your door.
Let me
Put in headphones. Who was listening to pornography on full blast in the middle of the afternoon?
Well, you're in the zone. You're in the zone.
Yeah, he was in the fucking auto zone for sure. He was just like, I'm gonna get a fucking new battery and some windshield wipers. To
his defense, their guest in his home, they probably had a full whack policy. Got the three brothers. Hey man, were you whacking over there? Keep it cranked.
You're whacking his go.
Crank it to 100, so I know that you're whacking, and I won't go in that vicinity of the house because I know you're whacking. If I'm whacking,
I'll go whack in a different corner.
That's the whack. That's the whack wank law in the home. And Lily didn't know. She didn't read the fucking tapestry in the living room. So went, welcome to our whack wank home.
I've never been around teenage boys. I didn't know so much fucking whacking was happening. But she wises up to it later on herself, though. I mean, this home is very whack friendly. I'm just gonna say it's a whack friendly home.
Where
no one gets a finish, but
where the opportunity lies, if they would source our other movie, Fright Night, they need to pull a Brewster, go on the other side of the bed. So I open up there, I don't see you whacking, I just see some going on over the side of the bed, and then I maybe
hear really loud pornography going full
and then it just sounds like a fist going into a jar of Crisco, and then I kind of just close the door.
Because that's a lot full of Crisco in here.
That's a lot of Crisco to get your whole fist in there to make that quick noise, you know?
All right, you better have some towels down. I don't want to fucking Crisco on these floors. These are nice floors, okay? Fucking dad didn't fucking break his back on the fucking speaking tours to come home to fucked up floors from Crisco, okay?
TED Talks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get that, and that bothered me in the movie Back to the Seance of like, if you're going to explain it that way for our protagonist, then I think it's only fair that the other characters either A, have the same rules of the world, or B, throw me a line of dialogue saying, hey, little Lily, you're kind of the chosen one. You're our fucking splinter here. So you have that rule because you're upper echelon, and maybe we're just grunts, and we can just be witches spiritually. We can connect with that sisterhood, and that's good enough. But you gotta max out some tampons before you're the show. Like that's the thing.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just so weird because it's like, I mean, I get the statement they're saying. Well, transgender is a woman, and that's
right.
I'm not arguing that or saying anything against that either. It's just more of like, okay, but you're making this so hard for people that are trying to learn and educate, because you're saying one thing and then being like,
well, even to simplify it, dude, like I totally agree if that's how you is and that's what it is, but you're telling me your movie rules are one thing, and then 5 minutes later in the movie you forfeit your own rules and say and do whatever you want. So how am I supposed to believe in shit in this movie because you're not adhering to your rules? So why should I even care?
Yeah, and furthermore, when the movie continues and everything, and I just feel like narratively the story suffers for its message. There's a lot of these messages, and I'm not saying you can't have messages in your movie. I mean, that's art, that's movies for all time. But I always will judge you on your narrative, no matter what. Like that is what I'm there for.
Right.
I am there for your story and your narrative first and foremost, always. You can have whoever you want represented in your movie. I do not care about that. I care about your narrative. And when your narrative takes a backseat to your message, that's when I start to check out on your fucking movie, where I'm just like, all right, well,
that's fair.
Let me know when you're gonna, give a shit about finishing your narrative, I guess, because then from this point on, just like stuff happens.
Right.
You know, like just stuff happens, and I kind of knew where it was gonna go eventually, and I was just like, "I just fucking please get there," you know. And then it surprised me with Timmy, and I was like, "Oh,
Well, and that's
this
the
is the only
thing, right?
character I
Like
care about in this movie." All of a sudden,
the first half of the movie kind of starts off kind of hot, right? It's
yeah,
introducing you, it's trying to lay down its rules. Okay, you don't want to follow that rule. I don't care. It's not a deal breaker, but it makes me
yeah,
scratch my head going, all right, well, that's a little sloppy storytelling. This character still can be represented. It just doesn't have to be so you set it up for failure to ask me those questions,
yeah.
right? Or for me to
And
ask
they
those
pretty much
questions.
wrote her out of the fucking movie after that too, which I
And,
thought was really almost kind of disrespectful. Of like,
well,
what you
no,
went
no.
through all that, and then you just were like, bye bye.
To I just want to accent that as well is when we said it in the beginning, little Lily is the only character. The other girls are almost just like plot devices, almost set pieces they turn into. And you don't really I don't know anything about Frankie. I just know she's the Jersey one because of the way her wardrobe, right? I
Yeah.
don't know anything about Tabby except for when they play the game, but not truth or dare. They play some game of like what makes them happy.
Oh yeah, like
She
two truths and a lie or something like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. And then she just expunges that very modern topics of, being black in America and the way we treat those people with the police and all that stuff. And it's just, she just says it and you're like, okay. And then you have the representation for that. You have all these kind of real live 2020 topics that these
Yeah.
characters can represent. And it's
And that's kind of it, though. They just represent conversation pieces.
exactly. And I want to know those stories from her, let
Yeah.
her have her 5-10 minutes and I could be invested in her struggles and what's important to her and that representation. I'm totally okay with that. If your movie wants to do it, let's do it. Let's build on that narrative with those characters. Or maybe little Lily can learn those things and I can learn with her. It doesn't matter. I'm okay to take that ride with you. So, but just have some rules, I guess, and just have some
Well, just like
discipline
following,
for the
following
character.
narrative, but there's zero character development. There really isn't any character development. Like they get powers. That's not a character development. That's a story development. You know,
Yeah.
like, um, and then we get a sliver of Lily's backstory that kind of just bullshit explains some stuff, but it's like we don't get anyone else's backstory. We don't know. They bring up that they have witches in their like family heritage.
Mhm.
We never go further than that. Like everything's just kind of like surface level shit.
Dude,
You know, even our villains, you're just like, oh, this is kind of like a really interesting twist to the whole fucking story, but we're going to shit the bed on it so hard and so fast that you're just like, no, all right, never again.
right. Like the whole two truth and a lie, um, that scene is when Tabby's speaking about like her family, right? And like how she feels about her brother and like social injustice and stuff like that. And then the other character brings up the heritage thing. I was like, oh, legacy. We're going to learn about each one of these witches' backstory
Yeah.
of like, hey, my great great grandmother or my grandfather, or there's something in their bloodline. I was like, that's cool. Now I don't care. It's okay to
Yeah.
do a
And it's
flashback
like,
in that sense. Let's go to the book. Let's go to the all-seeing eye, or you know what
and
I
the witch
mean?
trial, like we don't even know how to get the book. Like the book just seems like a book that they bought at a bookstore. They're always like, hey,
Yeah.
go pick up a copy of
No,
the
dude.
craft if you want to join our coven, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was waiting for. That's what I thought the legacy was going to refer to. And then of course we get the big reveal for little Lily, but the movie's just like, nah, man. Like we just want to
We just wanted to
hang
kind
out.
of do the 90s one, but like more girl power because we thought the 90s girl power one was kind of bullshit. And it kind
Yeah.
of was, but then
I'm not really sure what they wanted other than those very topical current things and to remind the viewer that and how they would it's like you didn't use your magic to make those things better. You didn't use your magic. Like what were you going to use the magic for?
they kind of don't, yeah, they don't really use it for any. Well, let's just go back to the woods. So because this is where they first use it. They finally finished their uh you know, Captain Planet chant, and Lily's the first to open her eyes and see that they've essentially stopped time. They have stopped time. Leaves are falling and have stopped. The butterfly has stopped moving.
Kind of a nod to the original when they
Yeah.
do like the butterfly gimmick part and yeah.
Yeah. And then Frankie ruins the scene by being Frankie. She's just like, oh, fuck a butterfly. And I was like, really? Like, that's your response to a butterfly? Like, what's wrong with you, Frankie? That's beautiful nature. And you just swatted at it like it was a mosquito.
Now, if they would have sang Crazy Town's Butterfly, I would have loved it.
I mean, like, yeah, I think the whole audience would have. I would have collectively been like, oh, someone's shitting their pants with me right now. Oh, Crazy Town's Butterfly. Come, my baby. Come, my baby.
Everybody's like, yeah.
Yo, my butterfly.
Like, if they would have just came out of the trees and started dancing with the girls, I'd been like,
Oh, man,
this,
that would have been. That would be amazing. They're just like, you want fucking 90s? We'll give you the fucking 90s. Fuck you, Atlantis. We showed up, okay? We know we have one song, and we are here for it.
Were they like early 2000s with that new metal craze?
Whatever.
Oh, right.
Close enough. I mean, we know they were a stone throw away. So, like just like one skip either way. So, someone could look it up and correct me in the fucking comments or something or whatever. But yeah, so then they're all jacked. They got powers. They're just like, got the juice.
What are we gonna do with it? How about we haze someone?
Yeah.
Rush week, bitch.
Did they just go to Timmy's house like right away?
I think they start doing like little parlor tricks, and it comes off real Wizards of Waverly Place. I'm just like, yikes! Don't do this.
Here's our montage,
Yeah, it's almost like this training montage, but they're kind of like being just
Wizards of Waverly Place. Kevin, did you be forced to watch all of Wizards of Waverly Place?
No, Dustin, but I know you.
It's way better than this movie.
I just meant like the magic, the way the magic looked. It was real sparkly and good times. I was like, with the topics
it was
and the
like,
sensitivity, like just with the whole overall vibe, I feel like the magic should be a little more darker, less sparkly.
Yeah, no, this is a very Twilight-inspired magic of just like, watch as I do your makeup better than you, and
yeah, man, I was like,
look, I have really a fire finger, just this one though, and yeah, that's kind of it,
Yeah,
and and then someone beating up, I assume another, or at least a non-binary person. I don't really know, because the movie's not gonna. There's another bullying, and then I found this part confusing too, Kevin. I guess it's Lourdes's character changes the jacket into a rainbow pride jacket, and everyone laughs at him, and I was like,
that's the wrong message.
Weird I was like, this is the wrong message. I was like,
I think it was to humble and / humiliate the bully if he was acting towards that. Of course, he's intimidated by that because he doesn't understand it and he's ignorant, or he just wants to be hateful. So I think that's an embarrassing to him.
Seems the wrong way to get that message across.
No, agreed.
He's not going to learn anything from that. He's going to hate more now, is what you've taught him, because you've humbled and you didn't humble him. You've embarrassed him.
Right. Yeah. And he's gonna probably lose the message.
Yeah, it's definitely getting lost in any sort of translation. So,
and then there's another thing with Tabby. They slut shame her, I guess, on her locker. Or they say like, slutty.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah, locker? And she burns it off with her Fantastic Four finger.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
you don't got nothing on me, Johnny fucking Storm. We all got this CG power now. He's just like, damn it, damn all I had going for me.
You guys remember the Fantastic Four?
Which it doesn't matter.
She does that, and I'm like, oh, is there a thing with her where she needs attention from men, or if she just likes to have sex and men slut shame her because she can't enjoy it, or there's no power in her wanting to enjoy sex, so they want to there's almost like a sniff of a fucking development of that character, and then they just wipe it away. I'm like, I don't know how it is to be a teenage girl, let alone with fucking powers. Fucking movie, help me out.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was her locker, dude. I thought that was the locker next to her.
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Because I could have swore it said Libby as a slut, not Tabby.
Maybe I just thought.
See, and that's the other thing, is because I didn't know her character name. Who fucking knows? I don't know. It could have said Tabby.
I just thought it like,
or maybe someone was like, "Oh, I thought her name was Libby." So well,
either way, like, is she if that isn't her, and maybe she's just trying to curb the abuse of people treating somebody a certain way, please tell me that. Please tell me something. If they're going on a quest to liberate this school from bullies and oppression and fucking injustices and just social, just tell me. I'll go, okay.
Yeah, and so it's just like, hey, figure it out. Figure out the message, fuckers. And I was just like, I'll be honest, I'm real confused by everything. You know, you're doing the mean girl walk in the lunchroom. Everyone's staring at you. You do this like 4 times. I don't fucking know. And Lily, like, she's just running around. No one's checking on her. She's in a new town, no curfew, no one cares. Mom's never checked on her. Mom just disappears from the movie for a while. The Coven disappears from the movie for a while. You're just
it's like you said, let's get these parents out of here.
Let's get them the fuck out of here. All right. And then I think don't they go to, this is when they go to Timmy's house, because it's after this that she gets the family meeting, right? I think.
Wait, no, they go to Hayes Timmy. They go to his there. They go, well, we should put a spell on him. Kind of reminiscent of the first one, because you find out Frankie, I think, has a crush on him. And
not Timmy, no. Frankie has a crush on
the brother, right? The brother,
Jacob. Yeah, the friend of
middle.
Middle.
He's
medium size.
Right, and she's like, "Oh, he's kind of my stepbrother," and she was just like, "What? That's hot." And I'm like, "That's a paywall."
Like, fucking steal one of his fucking shirts. I want to just smell it and live inside of it for a week. And you're just like, "All right, Frankie, like, that's gross."
All right, Frankie, I'm into it, but like, that's another movie.
That's a different movie. Okay, you're not invited to that movie because you're annoying. And yeah, so they just find the key. They just know where the key is.
Yeah, apparently every asshole puts it in the plastic rock.
Yeah, and everyone questions how Tabby knows where it is, but then that's like as far as the discussion goes, because they're just
like breaking and entering. I'm like, use your magic powers, assholes.
Yeah, I was like, also, is anyone home? Like, are parents just never home in this town? I guess I don't know.
I get it.
And they just know exactly where his room is. They're just there.
It's a small town. It's a small town. I get it. Maybe
small. Look at those houses. It's a rich town.
They know everyone. That's how we're led to believe. They just know where everyone lives. And I guess, and I would have been like, if one of the girls would have been like, yeah, he's in that room. You know, maybe they walked by and stared at his.
Do the aura thing where they're like, yeah, I can see his aura over here.
Do anything with your magic. Instead of making bubbles in a fucking tub and having one girl go in it. Look, magic.
Get in the flowers.
Get in the milk water flowers.
Get in the milk water. Now it's the night sky. And I was just like, this is beautiful, but in a different movie. Okay. I don't understand it in this movie. Like, I was like, okay, that is beautiful. Why the fuck were we doing it? I don't know, because you didn't tell me anything about this scene. You were just like, get in the tub.
And they're just doing like makeover stuff. And I'm like, listen, like, I don't really get, like, are you practicing to be better? Are you trying to control magic? I see that they're elevated their spell game, but we don't really get,
at least like in the first one, they were doing bullshit stuff, and it matched their characters that we were given of like, this person's struggling with this. And so now they're, doing the opposite to make themselves, feel good in public and everything like that, like.
Right. They got body issues, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's totally addressed, and they kind of use their magic to overcome those things, right?
Yeah,
and they kind of give more control to their character and the power, and they can like be themselves, right? The magic helps them be themselves and stand out and just kind of push back. And then one gets a little power hungry, and then they quarrel amongst each other, and then there you go. There's a fucking fight for the crown. They don't do that, right? They hint on it.
This is like, maybe I can make your makeup a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe this bathtub will be bomb. I don't know.
Like, maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Maybe we'll stop time in the lunchroom and just kind of touch people.
Play a video game. One of the girls should have hit the aura thing, and then just have them levitate up to the roof and pop the window open. That'd have been like, that's cool. That's some witch shit. I'm all about it. It's real low key. It's low hanging fruit. It's a cheap special effect. I love it. They go in there. They start going through his room. Witches. Yeah. So now this is breaking it in, right? Like, I don't really feel for these girls now, because now they've broken the law.
Yeah.
And they start rummaging through his stuff, and they're like, we need something a part of him, his essence. And she's like, how about this jizzy, crusty sock that's filled with the jizzy? And then all the girls are like, yeah!
Cum sock that we will never, ever, ever show you. All we had to do was show you a sock, possibly with dampness. But we're not going to do that. You just have to know that's a cum sock.
But, like... And then the girls are just talking over each other. It's very an erratic scene again.
It's a very, you're just like, I was just like, just fucking please do what you're here to do, because I'm fucking over it. I'm so fucking far over it. I can't even begin to not care right now. So
that's the thing, is like, it's a thing that I like that made them feel authentic, but I think it was just used too much. Like they couldn't decide when they wanted to tell their story or when they wanted the girls to be girls, right?
It's just, like with this scene, this isn't the scene to do that. Them fucking around the lunchroom with everyone paused, do that. Go crazy. Let them all fuck. I don't need to hear them say a fucking word. They're in the bath doing the bathtub thing. I don't need to hear them say a fucking word of important stuff. They can all just ramble and talk the whole fucking time. This, though, that's when your narrative needs to go, okay, slow down. You're talking, and you're gonna dominate the scene with your dialogue. And
it's a real... Show me what you got, right?
You're all going to take turns. Maybe I'll jump in, go to do a Frankie at the same time, and that's it, But you can't just all sit there and be like, because I was just like, fucking just put the cum in the fucking bong and let's get this shit over with, okay?
How many times have you ended your night like that? Am I right, everyone?
I was just like, just fucking get it over with, all right? Some of us got work in the morning. I was so fucking over it.
Let's be a fucking adult and just put it in the goddamn...
Yeah, they were like, we need a cauldron. I was like, good thing you came prepared, right? Because you're witches? Or did you all forget as well? You did. Okay, great. So... Gonna use Timmy's bong. I guess anything passes for a cauldron these days. Also, I guess Timmy's a pothead too. It seemed a little out of character. Yeah, this kid's got so much shit going on in this fucking movie. Like, Jesus criminy. But, whatever.
So they do the little ritual. They put their, like, Lisa Frank sparkle shit in there. I don't have a sense that there's any real magic being used. They kind of look like a glitter paint my number set. I was like, oh, can we put a little more coolness in? Nope. Yeah, they mix it up. They say they're mumbo jumbo, and they sprinkle it on his bed. So they're just like putting jizz on his pillow seats. I'm like, girls, that's
not putting his own jizz on his own bed.
And I was like,
somewhere where he does not want it, because he's been putting it in the sock away from the bed.
Listen.
And now they have been like, no, we have a sanitary nightmare coming your way, Timmy.
Listen. They should have used a black light. That ain't gonna fade Timmy. Like, it's probably already there. Like,
Timmy won't even know. Timmy's gonna be more concerned about the glitter than the jism. He's gonna be like, man, this is fucking glitter on my pillow. Changes it instantly. The spell doesn't work. You're just like, oh.
If his friends are any indication, Timmy has his own meat beat manifesto, and there's jizz all over. They walked into a jizz hut. So I don't know why they're trying to be like, oh, look, we got him. I get it. It's part of the spell.
Jizz in the hut just pops out of the fucking closet. He's like, Ikala, ukala, solo. And they're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? That is disgusting. We need to get out of here. So
that is pretty disgusting. And then guess who's back again? Tell
Timmy.
a friend.
It's almost like he lives here and his parents are here. Everyone's here. The whole family's home. I don't know how fucking 4 girls shouting incoherently at the top of their lungs while spraying jizz on his bed have not been heard. But they're like, we got to get out of here.
Did he just pop that jizz? Because that shit would be like crusty monkey up in that motherfucker. It would just be flowing like the...
Well, I don't know. Much like, I guess we don't know about the flow of a young woman for the first time. Maybe they did not know... Jism don't stay fresh. So.
That's the title of his debut album. So
Timmy and the Jism don't stay fresh.
They're all jumping out the window, and I'm like, use some magic, like pause time or disappear, do something.
I mean, thank God the movie did not bother wanting to go over to that window, so we didn't have to see that bullshit. So.
And then I guess they don't really need all 4 of them to stop time, because Lily just does it herself because we're so focused on her. And I was like, are you Luke Skywalker right now? You're doing everything? You don't need the what?
And I was like, are you going to just walk past him and go out the front door. You're still gonna jump out
She
the
just
window?
kind of stands at behind the door, like trying to feel the rush and shit. She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make him eat his own shit."
Fucking eat that jizz, Timmy. He's like, haha, joke's on you. The reason it's fresh is because I always got a batch brewing, okay? A little for Timmy and then a little for Timmy. And I don't even know what that means, but Timmy like, okay?
Joke's on you, ladies. Timmy's okay with the jizz. You'll find
okay.
out later.
Yeah, you'll find out later. Timmy can pump and take, okay? Pump and dump. I can do it all right?
The worst part is this movie tries to take serious topics, but two assholes like us watched it. We're like, serious? Uh-oh. Can't do that. Gotta be immature.
Well, it became immature when they couldn't show me a sock, Kevin. When they did the exact same thing to that sock as Timmy did to the period. And that's the problem.
Oh, you wanted a...
It's equal opportunity. It's going to do both. But it only acknowledges the fault in one side. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. It's your movie.
That was the girls in control of Timmy's jizz, so they were running the shit.
Yeah, that was empowering.
Like, hey, you're going to eat your own jizz. I'm freezing time. The girls bounce. And then we hit the streets like it's a fucking Smashing Pumpkins video. We're just running.
They're like, none of these parents care where these kids are. I mean, did they have homework? Did they miss dinner? I don't know. All of a sudden, little Lily's just on her bed. Just like, she just had the time of her life. She felt the rush, the thrill.
Feels good to have friends, Dustin. Feels good to be a witch. It feels good to watch a man have jizz nightmares.
So and it feels good to survive a 2-story drop, without never having to show it. So
I believed it. I'm pretty sure she did like a half gainer off it.
Fucking, I did a triple gainer, motherfuckers. I'm a witch. So
we're back in class. It's the next day.
No. This is where mom and dad got to come in. They got some disappointing talking to do with Lil Lil, because he's like, I heard from Jacob that you pushed Timmy Swanson.
Right.
And I don't tolerate physical violence in my house at all. And then there's basically a conflict of ideologies happening in this scene, because he's having a very, like, the male of, like, in my house, my rules, and then the mom who's raised Lily to be, very feminist, empowered and everything, kind of all of a sudden takes a back seat to Adam's philosophies, and Lily is just kind of heartbroken by this, like her idol.
Mom did stick up for her.
Yeah. She's just like, thanks a lot, Mom. And then, then later on in the night, Lily's crying in bed, and the mom and Helen and Adam are fighting, and not really fighting. They're just having a very loud discussion. I mean, like,
the walls are paper thin in this fucking house.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, that's another reason. Why is that kid? He's got bad acoustics if he's blasting pornography that loud. He's just like, man, have you heard shit in this room? I mean, the fucking walls just eat the sound. And so Lily goes outside, and then that's where she, like, runs into Small, who's out there, because he had to get away from it too, and they're both in the same. She's like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing out here, weird kid?" And she's like, "Oh, hey, easy, you're weird too, motherfucker."
Hi, you might introduce me. You might remember me from the introductory scene.
Yeah, I was the only one that smiled and kind of half waved, And then again at dinner when I did it again, and you're just like, "Is this all you do, Small?" He's just like, "Yeah, kind of."
This is my character progression. I wave with this hand, and then I use the other.
And then I use the other. And then he, like, kind of, like, sells for his dad. He's just like, "Oh yeah, my dad," and blah blah blah, and just, you're kind of like, okay. And she's just like, "Yeah, I don't really like your dad right now, so shut up." And then it's just like, okay, scene's over. Like, go to the next scene, go back to school. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, the most I could take from it is he's as harsh and kind of overbearing as his dad is with his toxic male masculinity. He still loves his dad, even though he might not quite understand it all, and it's very abrasive, and he doesn't like it. So he might be one of the good ones when he grows up, or he might just wash, rinse, repeat like his father. I assume that's what was happening. I could be giving it way too much credit.
Yeah, you're giving way too much credit because we're like never gonna see him again. So it doesn't even matter.
See you later, everyone.
See you later, small little Abe. You know, Abe Pagoda. We don't know your name. I didn't know you were called Abe. So whatever. Is that short for Abraham? I don't know. We got a bunch of other biblical fucking names going on here. So
I guess the really quick sidebar is I would have liked the movie. I know the movie might have its own representation of the dichotomy of the father and son and the male masculinity and maybe the different levels of it or how it's taught. There's a lot of things you could try to interpret there, especially with the whole group or clan or coven type mentality. And in my own thoughts, I said you could probably make all the sons one character. There should have just been one son.
Oh yeah,
I don't give a fuck. The three sons, like you said, it's too much, and they're not used to full potential because they don't really do anything.
None of them. Like you barely even get to hear them talk. There's no, you don't know why they're hostile towards. Is it because of the new stepmom? Is it because of Lily, or the dad's already cued him in on some part of his, his master plan. Like what?
Like think of it.
Is it?
Like if Lily's our main protagonist, or if it's all through the eyes of her and her journey, it's maybe the support system of her sisters. That's why we got those. But maybe it's the overbearing. Like men run everything. Men are surrounding her, like different levels and sizes and beliefs of all men. It's just. The dad and the fucking medium and large and small, and she's fucking overwhelmed, right? So men are toxic. They're everywhere in her life. They're just everywhere she turns. I don't know. I'm always supposed to be like they're smothering.
But then they would have actually have to have done something. But instead, they are mostly inactive and not present.
Yeah, they don't.
Like I would have believed that instantly if they had interacted with her, but they don't even interact with her.
Given her some sort of goals to conquer, to you know what I mean, to achieve, I should say, or maybe they put up some sort of opposition and she has to overcome them, or like a real
and that's what I kind of thought,
stepbrother.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to be the opposition to her, but
hence why I think the story is half baked, and it probably fare better in a television format, I would say, but whatever, it's got to be good.
Now with this writing and now with these fucking actors and.
Yeah, no, it's a 3 episodes and canceled.
Yeah, like this movie so just wanted to do its ending is what I feel like. It just wanted to do that ending and be like, ha ha ha, take that, M. Night. And M. Night was like,
I didn't even think so.
I fucking wrote signs and fucking PU.
I saw this ending coming a mile away because they tried to be cute and sprinkle it as like.
And that's why I say I think they really just were so into their ending.
Maybe.
So
I guess we can just try to get there. We go back to school.
Yeah.
And holy smokes, what do we do back in school? Are we doing the slow-mo walk from the first movie? No,
not yet. No, later. They kind of already. Well, they've already done one of those, but we kind of already covered that. No, this is when they're doing sex ed. They're doing sex ed, and
right, and then
guys making. They're doing yes is consent, and the guy starts going yes, and like doing that, and then woke Timmy makes his appearance.
Yep, woke Timmy checks everybody, puts them in their place, and drops a little knowledge, and leaves them all shook.
Yeah, and he does a good job of shutting down the guys. He's like, hey, He's like, hey, teacher, like how much more does he have to do before you send him to the principal? He's clearly making a lot of people uncomfortable and triggering them. And you're just like,
listen, I will say I agree 100% with you. This Timmy guy is the best actor in the movie.
He's the best actor.
He shows the most range.
He has the most character development. He's the only one with character development.
He's the only one with any character development. I was
kind of like, is this Timmy's movie?
I felt like it was.
Like, the only thing that sucked was how he exited the movie, and I was just like, You're not going to show anything?
Which it was, yeah, it wasn't fitting for the character for as much time as we spent with him. We needed more closure.
Well, it wasn't fitting for the movie. I was just like, what the fuck? You're just going to show me a bunch of flash
It's the third
images?
act, right? That's the start of the third act, and it kind of just falls off a cliff, right? Though, like you said,
I mean, it falls faster off the cliff. So.
Yeah, like I said, the first maybe 15 minutes, and then when they kind of let you know what they're going to do as they stop introducing it, it fails, right?
Yeah.
Because Lily just has stuff happening to her where Timmy is the only one that kind of expresses it and tries to deal with it and struggles with it and tries to grow from it as a character with the help of the girls. And that's really the only mildly enjoyable part of the movie. But yeah, the movie doesn't respect that at all and just kind of goes, all right, man, let's get to that ending that one guy's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, essentially the spell. I don't even think we touched on the spell. They put, make Timmy the best Timmy he can be. So, but that's kind of like putting their, yeah, that's what it was. That was something about like the best.
Yeah, okay.
Best he can
it makes
sense.
Right.
Yeah, and it kind of puts their, I guess, belief system onto him or whatever. So then they start just kind of talking about how, in this class he talked about this, and just using a lot of like, again, like hot button.
It's woke Timmy. You nailed it perfectly.
Woke, yeah, and we'll even call them that at some point. They're like, I like woke Timmy, and you're just like, okay. And they're just like, was that our spell? We did that, like we changed someone, and they're all just like kind of it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess they're just like going to a Timmy's party, like woke Timmy's still having like a raging kegger or something, and I was
woke Timmy still likes to get down.
Yeah,
crunk, lit, whatever you want to call it. That's still Timmy.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted.
And then the girls show up, and of course they turn.
You, old man.
I still die.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
I don't know what the kids like to do. Okay, I hear they like to do makeup videos where they take off makeup and tell a story, and you're just.
Oh God, I saw one of those. I was like, this story sucks.
You're just like, what?
What? You're Elvira. I get it. Great makeup. It's a terrible story.
Terrible story. Also, put it back on, okay? If you're Elvira, just leave it on. Leave it on. But, yeah, so he, they go to the party. The part that just kind of, again, and it just goes to like, well, why do all these other girls in the school hate these three girls?
I'll tell you, Dustin, because this is my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Where they fucking go after Frankie. They're like, listen, you fucking mutt, I'm going to tear you down. And she's just like, you can't take on Jersey. I'm New Jersey, goddamn it.
Yeah. These girls are so awkward and out of place. They're so not contemporary, and I know what they're trying to do, but I'm just like, listen, you have to pick a lane. You either are modern kids or you're kind of thrift store bandits, or pick something. But you guys are so fucking all over the place.
At the same time as Timmy, so that we know you exist before this fucking scene that you're in. Because I did not need more characters.
No, so. I don't even care. Like these girls. So there's like some mean girls, air quotes, and listen. They just fucking browbeat Frankie.
Yeah, they're just like
Frankie just walks into like a 10-hit combo from like TJ Combo and just gets worked over. And then they look at little Lily and they're like, did you hear about her? I always loved like a period piece. And I was like, shots fired. These girls just won the day. That shit made me laugh.
I was like, oh damn, they're mean and educated.
I wanted a movie with them. I was totally into the Mean Girls all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then they use their magic to like bop her head in the wall. I was like, use your magic to tear her teeth out. Now who wins?
Yeah. I was just like, man, we just force push everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone sees it and is just like, what happened? And she's just like, ow, my head. I just bumped my head.
You know what I do? I'm beautiful. And I was just like,
Frankie's just like, fucking, I gotta dance so hard to this fucking song. Oh, no. And then Lily is just like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, just instant. I was like, we've been empowering you for like 45 minutes. And then this girl brings up your period one time. And then you're just like, I have to go to the bathroom alone. I got to leave my support system. I no longer feel strong. And no one's stopping me and be like, nah, fuck them.
She fucking punked out. And that it was just, listen, that was a killer. Sense. it was a killer zinger.
Yeah, no, it was. I was just like, damn.
It made me laugh, and I was like, "Boom, what do you got, Lily? Run away?
Yeah.
Fuck."
Yeah, fucking
That's what
run
I
away.
thought, dude. I thought
Away,
she was
little
going to be
Lil.
like force push her head through the wall. I'd be like, "Damn, this is a party."
I was like, hey, Lily, where were you in the bathtub scene? Because I thought they were empowering the fuck out of you in the midnight oil. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, she's still a punk. That's all I heard.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, whatever. And then she runs in. Apparently, she didn't have to pee too bad because she runs into Timmy, and Timmy apologizes, and it's a good scene. Like, it's like good awkward. Not like David Duchovny awkward, where you're just like, Jesus Christ,
are you going to kill everybody on the set?
Yeah, like how much money did they have to pay you to get you here? And then how angry were you when you saw the check bounce? Like, what's happening?
I'm always angry. Boo, you suck.
Boo. He's like, I know I auditioned for it. I still think I should have gotten it.
I do too. Bring him in. Put him in the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
He's like, I'm Gray Hulk. They're like, that's the same Hulk. He's like, whatever. Fucking, it don't matter.
I'm Red Hulk.
We introduced time travel. It doesn't fucking matter.
I'm a general.
I'm
boring.
Yeah, he could be the Red Hulk. He's like, don't ask me why, but when I Hulk out, my mustache disappears. So you'll never know the bullshit twist on who I am. You're like, okay.
Stupid. That's why nobody reads comics. Shit don't make sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this might have been a comic beforehand, too. We don't know. But so there's this great awkward scene with Timmy and Lily where she's just like kind of in awe of how open this guy is being and how he's talking. And you could tell there's like this very genuine connection between these two characters. Not a romantic one yet, but just a nice connection of where she's just like, wow, look at you, Timmy. You go, girl. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I'm real sorry and shit like that. And then the friends show up and they're like, are we okay here? And I
don't know. Are you going to let Timmy sweat you like that blonde girl did?
Yeah.
You guys ate tough shit. You're a bunch of punks.
And then Timmy just like tries to put this one music artist over like real hard. And I could not even be bothered to hear the name, to look up the name. I didn't care. I was just like, I don't even care. This movie's trying real hard to make me care about whoever this recording artist is, and it made me go the opposite direction of not giving a fuck.
Speaking of the music, that was one thing I did like what the movie did. I liked the constant changes of music beds and made it gave it a little bit of energy. It kind of gave it a little bit of youthfulness, and it was a little bit of playing towards the original. And there was a couple of songs that I did like, and I was like, okay, this makes it feel like this movie has some personality. And I agree. The scene where Timmy is like pouring out, he's like, "You're gonna need a glass." There's a little bit of chemistry, right? And that's why it's kind of like, hey, I want to check this out. I want to see. But I think that it's just a Timmy guy he's good. I can see this guy in 5 years really being like, if he does it the right way, it has the right breaks, and people, I could see him actually being pretty predominant, or maybe that guy you see in everything, or just maybe he lands that killer spot because he's got a lot of potential, and it's hard to tell if he's good or everyone else just kind of stinks because. No,
I just think he was that good. Well, and also it's like he's just given the most to work with, And
I think that's another big thing is, granted, this is a lot of their first movie, so I don't want to dump on a lot of them too hard. And it's hard, right? So he's like you said, he has a lot to work with. He does it really well, and he's kind of like you're interested because I feel like more things are happening to him than little Lily because. Yeah. And you're more like you're intrigued by these two characters because they're the only things that got anything going on.
Well, yeah, he's like a fucking onion, and he just keeps peeling back the layers for us. And you're just like, oh my god, because again, he starts off like an '80s bully jock, and then he does this complete polar opposite of being
180. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a 180, fucking woke Timmy, and you're just like, oh my god, and he's really good in both, and you're just like, okay. Yeah. So I think they start. They're all dancing with him, and they're just dancing, and they just start hanging out with woke Timmy, and then we do the slow motion lunchroom
walk
with my fucking favorite background character ever.
That one, the chubby kid with the glasses in the tray.
No, the black guy who's just like arms crossed. And he's like, no, not you, Timmy. Yeah, he's just like, fucking what? No, because you're just like, you're going through, you're just like, boom, girl 1, boom, girl 2, boom, girl 3, boom, girl 4, boom, fucking Timmy. And I was just like, why is Timmy doing the slow walk with him? And I kind of loved it, but also hated it because I was like, what?
It was kind of dumb, right?
Yeah, it was kind of dumb because I'm like,
I would have just been like, Timmy's in the lunchroom with the boys, and you cut to him and he gives an approving nod or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, but to him to be in the strut, I was like, bro, you're not part of the craft.
Exactly, and it kind of, Timmy had power over the crowd before that, but by putting him with them, it not only just continues to make it reestablish of, well, why does everyone dislike them? Because I still don't know. And now Timmy's with them, so they're just like, we dislike you, Timmy.
Yeah,
and
guilty
so
by association, right?
His a power to help them be accepted and have people grow and learn through him the way the audience is. Yeah. Instead, they're just like, again, it's like changing that guy's coat where everyone's just doubling down on, nope, we fucking hate it, instead of accepting and learning,
Yeah,
so I
want to educate you, but no, it's going to ostracize Timmy. And Timmy, does he have enough clout to pull everybody over to be like, hey, look at us? Because like in the original one, they're using the powers to kind of be accepted, right? Yeah. Because they're called names and they're picked on. The one girl has like the scars on her back and she wants to get it fixed. So you see a lot of that stuff but their magic means nothing, right? It's just there's no the relationships are all fucking weird. Like there's just so many starts and stops on stories and angles, and I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? It's just so sloppy. It's just not tight at all.
Yeah, and then Jacob shows up and he's just like, Timmy, what the fuck, man? We gotta work on biology. And he's just like, oh, okay, I'll see you girls later. We'll hang out. And then we're just at the house, and then she's got all of her friends over, and you're just like, oh, like this is the last place on the planet I'd want to hang out with my friends, but okay, like the creepy old house, okay. And I guess Large is playing a video game, and
Large is playing a video game. He's like playing some Halo game.
I got next, and he's just like, don't fucking touch that. And I was like, why do you have a second controller out?
Oh no, it was Tabby. Tabby said that because she's sitting close to him.
Oh yeah.
And I thought one of the other girls would be pining over him while and they're kind of like distracted. But then
because she likes Medium.
Oh, well, then Medium came in. All Medium does is enter the scene and leave the scene. And he takes the guy with him or he takes the guy with him. He does it later.
He's like, I'm dropping Timmy off for this. And then fucking Large is like, I'm out, like instantly. Just like doesn't say anything, just leaves. And then Medium's just like, all right, I'm going to go up there. And then he's just like, let's just hang out with the girls.
We got like an hour. Let's chill. We can.
We'll fucking knock out biology quick, man. Like, who even does biology projects outside of school? Like, what the fuck project is it? Give me some information. Make me a believer that they're doing something. No, it's just Timmy hanging out with the girls. So, and then
it's like you would normally do that, like back in the day, if you wanted to get with one of them, right? And I don't really see that. I didn't get that energy.
No, not at all.
So I was just like, is he one of their,
I just took it as like, I guess we're just supposed to take it as their witchcraft is so strong that he's being drawn to them because of it or something.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Is he going to be a slave to the Coven, or is he going to use them for a sacrifice where they're like, hey, we put the thing on him. We used him for the fucking
They're just going to make him take a really good bath. So, like, this is the best bath of your life. And he's just like, man, witches are cool. Like, they're real nice.
I would have took that if they're like, hey, the next level of our training is to do like a blood sacrifice for something. And it's got to be Timmy because he's the first one we did a spell on, something like that. And then maybe little Lily's just like, no, I'm feeling for him. Give me fucking anything.
I mean, if any of that was pre-established, but it's very much established that these are good witches and they only do good. And, they protect, and that's why they're using their magic for good.
They don't really do anything else after that, right? Magic wise,
Nope.
they just kind of,
end.
yeah, this not until the end, and you're like, what are you protecting? Why do you have magic? Why did you need her to be the fourth so badly? Like, if there was like a demon that was calling them, and they'd be like, hey man, we need a fourth to bring him forward. They make nods to a Ouija board a couple of times, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna fuck with that Ouija board, and we're gonna figure out someone's legacy. You know what? I'm begging. I was like, maybe an old ancient witch is like, hey bitches, bring me forth. You need 4 of you to complete the fucking ritual, and you need Timmy's blood. So use this spell, spill his blood, bring me back. It has to be 4 of you, and I'm gonna take over one of your vessels, and then I'm gonna fucking start wrecking shit like the old witch shit. Remember that shit? And everybody's gonna be like, yeah, man, we all remember '96. And then and then like I was like, movie, is that where we're going? And the movie's like, I don't know, Kevin, we're running out of time. And I'm like,
why? You should never have even asked that of the movie at this point. So
the movie's like, that sounds good. We should have did that.
Yeah. No, I mean, everything you said is cool, but like, there's no groundwork.
This movie,
no, not
they
at
needed
all.
to
Like,
do that
no
from the jump.
Yeah, like when we met David Duchovny, we saw the snake. There could have been so much stuff just ground floor introduced right there that they were just like, that is the only 2 things you get.
Yeah, they're just they were trying to be sneaky with the snake, and it
Oh, we did gloss over. So at the party though, because this is important for this next scene we're going to talk about, Timmy does open up to the Lily and tell him that his mom died. They both wear necklaces that their moms have given them. And he's like, yeah, I even have a Ouija board. And we saw it, like she saw it when they were, touching the jerk off sock. And she's like, did you, have you ever tried using it and everything? He's like, yeah,
he's like, to jerk off or
to jerk off or to like beat up some nerds? Or like, what are you asking right now?
No,
oh, wait, I'm woke, Timmy. No, she told me to clean my room. So
moms, everybody. Boop, boop.
Yeah. So, and then we're up to Lily's room, and this is when they're doing the 2 truths and a dare. I guess it's a good weird scene.
I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. Go ahead.
I like Timmy in it. So
I like Timmy to a point.
Yeah. So Timmy and Lily have this moment because he sees the Ouija board and he looks at her and she's like, clean your room. And I was like, that's fucking great because they have this little inside joke,
No one will ever know.
Yeah, it's whatever. It made them both laugh, but then they do it. And then like Kevin already told you, Tabby's like, she's just like, I wish I had more black friends. I wish I didn't have to worry about my brother when he's out with his friends, if coming home in a body bag. And like I think she says she like hates Beyonce or something. And then
she does not like Beyonce.
Yeah, she does not like Beyonce. And everyone just sits there for like an uncomfortable amount of time. And then Lily goes, you don't like Beyonce? And I was just like, wow, we are just going to gloss over the first 2?
That bothered me, man. Like,
it bothered me immensely. And she's like, I love Beyonce. And I was like,
yeah, I don't like her. I love her. And I was like, dude, this was a perfect time to don't be so sneaky. And like, if you're going to commit to it. Do it. Don't just kind of just throw it in there because it makes you feel good. Or don't throw it in there because you think
that's what this really hollow. If you like the way it came across was very hollow, like, right? It was fake woke. So
like I got kind of excited because I was like, man, I'm getting to know a character now. She's really coming out,
exactly. And we're doing like a real 2020 topic, and I was like, oh, okay,
dude, exactly. I understood what she said.
I had hope for the movie at that point.
I felt the gravity of what she said, and I was like, she's totally, absolutely right. I believe it. I've seen it. I'm all about what she's saying. Where's a Beyonce joke? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Did the other 2 girls?
Beyonce. No one else gets to go. So
yeah,
I was just like, okay, we're gonna like just. Timmy's like, well, I'll go, and you're just like, okay, and then he opens up and he tells this very, very personal, kind of just like this deep dark secret that's been repressed, and that's it, that he has. It's the reason why big Dislikes
Big, tiny,
Timmy.
large, small,
Big tiny, large.
the oldest brother.
Yeah, Isaiah. And it's because Timmy and Isaiah hooked up, and ever since then, they haven't discussed it. But here's the problem: is the girls laugh. They laugh instantly. Like, we've done all this work of trans people are okay. We've done all this work of, women are empowered. Your period's not laughed
dude.
at.
It's just basically
acceptance
and welcoming, right?
And then here's this teenage boy who we're portraying as so brave to give, and then their first response is to laugh. And granted, it's kind of like an uncomfortable laughter, but then it's just like, and then they realize it, which I found okay, but it was still just kind of like, come on, movie, like,
pick a fucking lane.
Yeah, you're really shitting the bed on this scene. This should have been the scene of the movie, and you're kind of really shitting the bed. And Timmy's doing his fucking best. Tabby's doing her fucking best. I thought that was probably her best acting of the movie. And they're doing their best to fucking save it, but they can't because you're just, like, doing Beyonce jokes, laughing when you shouldn't be laughing.
It's almost like
crying when he said it, and they still laughed. And I was just kind of like,
it's almost like they don't want it to be that serious.
Yeah.
They want to be like, we want to make you aware, we want to make you conscious, but when we address it, we have to pull back a little bit because that's not our movie. But it is your movie because you want it to be that, but you won't stick to your guns with it. So you're just like, all right, I have a trans character. I know I have a bisexual character or possibly full gay character. I have an
he says he's bisexual. So.
Oh, okay. But like before you even know it as the viewer, but it's like, the viewer will treat the characters how the movie wants them to be treated to an extent, right? If you treat them with respect, the viewer's going to be like, oh, you know what? They're protecting this character, so I'll give it the utmost, ideally, unless you just have opinions that don't vibe with that. So that's neither here nor there. But the movie has the responsibility of treating those subject matters with more care if that is their goal, and they're trying to tell me that's their goal, and I don't feel like it ever gets. It's hard because I know you have a movie and you probably have other people and stuff trying to alter your ideas, right? Like, who knows what the edits were? Who knows what they were told?
Well, I can only imagine based on what I'm seeing, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's studios involved there. Hey, man, pull back a little bit on that. We don't want to go that route. So I don't know all the anguish and like the director and stuff what she probably went through to get this done. Hopefully she's like, hey, that's as good as we could get it before we got too much pushback. I don't know, but I just know what you're presenting to me as a finished product that is put out. And I can only judge that and the narrative, right? And like you said, I'm a narrative guy. If you have a great story, I'll probably sit through it. Maybe if it's not so great, but if your story is just kind of torn up, and you're trying to sprinkle in all these like real important topics or that you want people to take away from it, it's just hard, right?
Yeah, it's more of like, here's a bunch of hashtags.
Yeah,
so that you
perfectly
said. It's like, but none of these hashtags have to do with what the tweet's about or the Instagram post is about. I'm just tagging it because it's a popular hashtag right now. So. And so Timmy opens up about this, and he's just like, I feel this incredible weight is lifted, and then Adam comes home, and Lily's like, oh shit, you guys got to go. Like, you can't be here. Like, I didn't get you approved to be here, I guess.
Why is Lily tempting fate? This guy's already he's already judged her with a heavy hand, and now you want to just fucking punish his, like, just be part of his ire and just be like, kill you, Lily.
And it's weird because it's like, you think that the boys aren't gonna tell them that you had all your friends over.
Hey, they ain't snitches, man.
Yeah, apparently not. So,
but that is the thing, right? They're intimidated by their dad with his discipline and his way of manlyhood. Bro, we stick together. You discipline. Yeah, they're like, who knows?
But yeah, so, and Timmy's like, I'll cover for you. You guys just get out of here or whatever. So, the night continues, and they're having dinner, and apparently it's women's work to go get the chicken from the kitchen. Takes
a lot of people to get a chicken from the kitchen. I don't know how big this chicken is.
I think it was a Boston rotisserie, if I remember correctly.
Boston rotisserie, yeah, they just have that in the kitchen.
Boston Market. Can I stay for dinner? You sure can, Timmy.
You sure fucking can, Timmy. You sure can. But don't sit near Isaiah because he didn't come home from dinner. He didn't come home. He was just like, I'm not coming home. This pisses off Adam.
Pop ain't having it.
So Jacob's given more dialogue, and he mumbles. So he's like, "Oh, fucking whatever." And then he's just like, "What'd you say?" And he's just like, "He said he's not coming to dinner." And you're just like, "Okay, like whatever." And then Timmy goes to help bring the chicken in, and they're just like, "No, you don't have to." And Jacob's like, "You don't have to do that, man. Like, you're a dude. Just sit here and eat your shitty salad and wait for the fucking shitty chicken, okay?" And he's like, "No, I want to help." And then they just look at him like, I cannot believe Timmy's helping with the chicken.
Timmy, are you woke?
Yeah, they were just like, fucking this woke motherfucker's gonna ruin food service in our fucking house. I can't do this right now, okay?
Timmy's
I got this fucking biology fucking thing. Timmy's bailing out to hang with fucking 4 girls, and that sounds like a great deal to me, but fucking now he's getting chickens from the kitchen. I'm about to lose my Jacob mind. So, and then to Coven, he's just like, no, men don't fucking touch birds in this house unless it's on their plate put in front of them.
Timmy should have been like, hey, you want to know most of the best chefs in the world are males?
Not in Duchovny's house, okay?
Timmy says,
we just have a fucking giant fire barbecue. I don't think Duchovny knows how to barbecue, by the way. Like, that flame was way too high in that grill. I was like, what are you cooking? People alive? Like, the hell are you doing? That none of that's gonna taste good. It's gonna taste like burnt. So, and then so after dinner, what would you do after a hearty chicken dinner, sitting across from your maybe pseudo crush, Kevin? What would you go back to your room and do if you saw that crush's coat sitting on your floor?
I'd probably take it and sniff it and probably fiddle myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
in that order.
You're absolutely correct, Kevin. Yeah, that's
I'd probably sit naked, put the jacket on, just take a real deep breath, like I'm on a gang commercial, and be like, I love the way this smells. Here comes the fiddle.
Personally, I would go with another 90s classic, and I would ghost myself with it. I would just wrap it around and just have it, caress and massage my body. And then go to Fiddletown,
I'd probably put it on backwards so I could put the hood on so it covers my face so I can't breathe. And I get really excited because I'm like going to die. And then I just start fiddling.
just a little fucking tibia asphyxiation and some Fiddletown.
Like, what's the problem? What would I just put the coat back on a coat hook and be like, hey, dude, you forgot your coat?
No, instead, little Lil, she jumps into bed. We have no sense of time. We just know that there's no locks on these doors. And then she casts a little spell on it. And then...
like a love spell.
She's just like, you know what? Yeah, love spell. And she
starts beating the beavers.
Yeah, she's going to Beantown. She's playing for the Bo Sox, and she's about to hit one out of the park. And... it's a log scene. It's not a bad... like, you really only see her face. And
in all honesty, man... I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was just like, have you never been down there before?
She needed to throw her leg behind her head and just start fisting or something.
Jesus Christ.
I thought
like, I've never done this before. I've never done this before, but let me just get a whole knuckle sandwich up there.
Let me feed this beaver a knuckle sandwich.
Let's see if this dog wants.
Oh, it's like this beaver's rabid.
I'm stuck. Someone help me. I'm not as flexible as I thought I was.
It just cuts to an ambulance. They're taking her to the hospital.
Adam's just like, fucking really?
Oh,
I didn't even call the ambulance for my dying wife, and I gotta call it because you got your fist stuck in your vajay going to fucking
what do we
beaver.
Got here, doctor? We got a wild beaver attack. Apparently just took this old girl's arm.
Took her whole goddamn arm. I'm gonna need some X-rays because I don't believe what I'm fucking
gonna be
seeing.
like, here, let me pull back this sheet. Jesus Christ, hold this smoky
Christ,
sausage.
Insurance is never gonna pay. They're not gonna pay for this. We're doing this one pro bono, everybody. All right, get a fucking spatula. So, but yeah, she's just, and and to be fair,
Immaturity.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what a woman exploring her body for the first time would look like acting.
Dustin. So what I think is, glad you asked.
Glad you asked. Because when I was going down to Beavertown, this is what I found.
I got jumped, right, by two beavers. They took my wallet and my pride. So she could be on the outside. She could be on the outside where she likes to massage the crown, or she could be all about the inside where it's just like penetrate. And then it gets really crazy and it slips and it goes right in her back door. She's like, whoopsie. But then she's like, hold on.
We might be onto something later to explore in college here.
Call it. Looks like she's in college right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's it's not even that it's awkward. I just felt bad for Lily having to act in that scene and for that long. Like they were just like, hold this shot.
Okay. I don't think it was long enough.
And then fucking Timmy, just no knock, enters the room because fuck knocking. No one knocks in this movie. Okay. He's just like, did I leave my jacket in here? He's just like, and what are you doing? It's like 8:00. Why are you going to bed? And she's just like, I was meditating. And then she proceeds to just get out of bed, and I was just like, are those loose-fitting pants or something? Because like,
are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing?
Yeah, those Bugle Boys. Because man, those were some great fucking jeans. What happened to them? Huh? Fun to say and comfortable.
At least if she had like some sweatpants on, I could be like, yeah. You got an over sexy sweatpants.
She's got those like high rise like mom jeans that are very popular right now.
Great grandma jeans or something. That waistline was under her arms. I was like, is this fashion?
I was like, how did you even get your arm down there? Like, was that the confusion? Was trying to just get into your own pants or something? Like, I was just like,
put her hand in front of it and snapped her fingers a bunch, and the vibration just sent her to ecstasy.
It was just another failure of the movie because I was just like, no,
like I want to smell it.
No, like you wouldn't show me a cum sock. You did a close up on her face, and then you just had her get out of bed
the wrong thing.
Rest. Hey man, this is the movie they presented, okay? All right, if you're gonna tackle sexuality in a believable way, fucking make it believable.
Hey, everybody,
I have no problem with her flicking the bean. I had a problem with her getting out with her pants on and just like,
hey everybody,
him not catching a whiff of that later on when they were.
I got notes from the studio. I'm going to run it back to you. It looks like we need more screen time for Jizzy Sock, and it looks like we need to see some hardcore finger banging.
Oh wait, it says self finger banging, so that I don't know how that changes it. But
I'll circle that, and we'll put that on the pink sheet. And no pun intended. And then maybe Timmy can cry less before we go to the masturbation. Oh no, we're not going to do any of that.
We're going to double down on everything. Got it. All right. Well, I'll tell the studio to eat shit, and you already got their money.
Sony's like,
their fucking movie.
Fuck you.
Sony's had a rough year. It's just like, nah, you don't get to come out and fully dressed after that. I just hate that shit. Or I'm just like,
this
really?
Guy like
her shirt's not even disheveled, is what I'm saying. Wild Things. Nah, I mean, no one's watching that second one they made. So
what's Wild Things 5 and Poison Ivy 27? Can we do it?
Can we do it? What about the vampire one with Melissa Mulatto? We're gonna do a sequel.
Let's do that. Let's throw in Cruel Intentions. I want you all to bash it all up, and just like I want it to be called Boner Town and Wet Socks. Let's go.
Jesus. But so Timmy comes in. She, gets out of bed, and then they talk, I guess, about stuff. They look at her photos, and then they just are full on making out. And
you realize how tiny Lily is when this gigantic man is just like bending into the shape of a question mark to kiss her. And you're like, oh, okay.
Dude, she's like 4'3", and
yeah, I know. And he's like
it's
6'5".
her spell kicks in,
Yeah.
and you're just like, uh-oh. But he's still a gentleman. They say some little witty banter to each other. They're building more character moments.
Yeah,
and then
they're building a relationship, you know.
And then he's like, oh, I came for my jacket. I got a dip because
well, the jacket's still in the bed, everyone. So the jacket's not going far. So.
Old man to Coven, he might see I'm here and fucking
and then
make me watch his movies.
Coven comes in, he's just like, listen, I got 6 seasons of Californication that you're gonna have to watch, Timmy, if you don't fucking finish your biology homework with my son, okay?
Remember that movie where I was a surgeon to the mob and it called me God Hand or God Fuck?
Playing God, and it was horrible.
You would have watched the last season of X-Files where I fucking sued Fox and then I like didn't show up and the Fox was like, fuck you, we'll recast you and we'll recast this Jillian person just in case she tries to dip. You want to watch that?
She was like, I just didn't want to come back to America. I was living in France, so
everybody's like, fuck you. Everybody's like, fuck you to Coven.
And then everyone was just like, this show's not very good anymore anyway. So, but yeah, so Adam shows up. He's like, hey, Jacob called you like 2 times. Where were you, Timmy? Are you ever going to finish the fucking biology homework? Are you?
Stop being in love.
Are you? And he just kind of looks at them both like,
with my stepsister.
What were you guys doing in here? Because I smell finger banging and making out, and I'm very confused.
Get stuck in the dryer, and then you pull her pants down.
No, Timmy's not her stepbrother. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
What the fuck? Who cares? I mean, he's practically family. But so then Timmy's like, I gotta go do biology. He's like, the other biology. I was like, that's the same biology, dipshit. But whatever, Timmy. I get it. You're thinking with your little head right now. It's fine. So then they kiss again, and then he messages her 10 seconds out of the room.
He's quick. Yeah, that shit loaded.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Timmy's a fast fucking typer. I didn't even see his phone. I thought it was in the fucking hoodie. So whatever. He's like, let me just call it real quick. Why is your bed vibrating? She's like, that's my meditation vibrator. I don't, leave home without it. So, but
you are home, dummy.
Yeah,
she's like, let's see.
She's like, oh, well, I mean, I'm thinking with my little head too. So,
I was like, yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
I think with my left titty, Timmy.
He's just like, is that a thing? I can do what I want. Okay, it's my body. All right. What are you, a Republican? Jesus Christ!
Put little glasses on him. Everybody's like, what? He's real smart.
That'd be great. He's just like, today we'll be voting on whether we should wear grandma high rises or just mom high rises. Lily's like, I don't want to vote on this. All right, your vote is null and void. We will wear the grandma high rises.
I just meant like she puts the glasses on her left boob because that's the smart one.
Yeah, no, I got it. And then he talks. He's holding a meeting, Kevin. Take the minutes, okay? Jesus.
And then the other boob gets sunglasses because it's the cool one.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the cool one. It's like, I don't fucking vote. And you're just like, shut up, fucking righty. You fucking...
You're the problem.
You're the fucking problem. Smacks the glasses off. It's just like, you never praised me as much as the left one.
We got a full-blown boob fight.
Yeah. And Lily's just like, man, my magic's out of control.
See you next time, everyone.
Yeah, see you next episode of The Craft Legacy, Chapter 2.
Boob fight.
Boob fight. And then I think, doesn't like Lily just have like a really bad dream in her grandma pajamas or something?
Yeah, she has a couple of these randomly like smash cut scenes. And this one is a little bit different. She has a smash cut scene and she starts seeing ghost images everywhere, like shadows. She sees it in the mirror and then she sees it in the corner of the room. Because this is where the movie's like, oh, we got to do some spooky shit. And I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
And I was just good at it.
I was like, okay, so you see a figure, a shadowy figure in your mirror and you walked over to the mirror? why didn't you go to the spot in the room that the mirror was showing?
No idea.
I
But
don't-
then
yeah.
Medium comes in, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck? My older brother is sleepwalking again."
Yeah.
He's
Just
like,
instantly, he's just like, "Oh, sorry, you sleepwalking or something?" This is my last line of the movie until I yell. So,
it's
you know,
literally like 5 seconds, and I'm like, was he drawn by the spell? Like he was gone, and then he just appeared. She was kissing maybe his love interest, and that's what drawn him because that was the love spell mixing everything. So I was
yeah.
just like, I was trying to fill in gaps for the movie because I was like, well, they had a relationship. She put a love spell. Is she good at love spells? Like, isn't that like harder? Don't you need like an essence of the person or something? You know what I mean? To change their
Yeah.
personality. What are the rules of your movie? Please tell me the fucking rules so I can enjoy this more. I
Yeah,
fucking
or
hate
I don't know, develop Isaiah more so that I understand why he was there
Is he
at
ashamed that he
all.
loves the guy or something? He wants to keep it secret because that's not masculine, and his dad will look
Yeah.
down upon him and exile him from the family, or worse, belittle him till he just. They mock it. They kind of bring it up later. I guess I'll just wait till you get to it. With that whole, it's the masculinity thing that kind of hangs over, and it kind of tries to be motivation for some characters, but obstacles for other characters, but get in the way of maybe things making sense. I don't even know. I just don't know what the fuck these other characters are doing.
Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, she's super confused by that. He's just like, okay, it was in my room. I believe it just goes to school again the next day. It's
Yeah,
just
we're
like,
out of there,
hey,
dude.
fucking
That scene
anytime,
is done.
yeah, anytime you need to get to school, we're fucking there.
We just teleport.
instantly. You want to have dinner though? That's going to be awkward. You're going to leave this awkwardly, okay? We're going to go around the room and we're going to stare at everyone's fucking face. But if you want to go to school, boom, click your fingers, you're fucking there. So,
Don't
Timmy's
we?
missing.
Yeah, Timmy's missing, and then the girls kind of have their meeting in the bathroom, right?
Well, yeah. They find out.
Oh,
the
that's right.
teacher
They get
comes
the
in.
news.
Yeah. So, and he's just like,
Who loves Timmy? Anyone? Going.
Who was like he woke Timmy? Because I got some real bad news. Okay,
We had rave reviews for the woke Timmy, but
he's been recalled to.
he's
you know,
dead.
Yeah.
Is everyone sitting? He's killed himself.
We got counselors on site for you. We recommend you use them. You won't because you're in high school.
We did the slow push-in. Audio comes drained out. We can't hear anything. The characters are all in shock. Lily runs off. They all reconvene in the bathroom. They're all babbling. They're in tears. They're trying to communicate. Lily spouts out she put a spell on him, and the other girls are like, "What? You didn't tell us?" Or like, apparently Lily doesn't have to tell you anything. She could do everything on her own. I don't know why you're like a coven. You don't do any combo powers that I've seen.
Well, and then when others were changing fucking coats and doing fires on lockers, they didn't get any of that approved. But all of a sudden with this, they're like, oh, "You didn't call us at 8 o'clock at night and discuss this before you flicked, after you flicked your bean."
And here's another thing. It makes Lily kind of like selfish, right? And pitiful because you have to use magic to get this guy to like you. Where's all the confidence you had from your sisterhood that's given you, from the magic and from that kind of newfound self-worth that this should have in you? You should be like, I have confidence now. He's already got you put 2 spells on him. Is there like a rule? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, yeah, now they bring that rule up. They're like, he was already under a spell.
Dumb shit.
And then Lily, to her defense, is like, no, something's not right. Like, it just doesn't feel right. And I was like, that's right, Lily. You are right. But her friends turn on her so fucking fast where I was just like, I'm done with all 3 of you. Like, I'm done super fucking done with all 3 of you.
I agree. Because you guys were literally shitting your pants the second you had the 4th. You almost forced her into this friendship. You guys were just like, Lily. She was like, damn. Okay, we'll be friends. It's all good. Oh, we have magic together. I guess we're friends for life.
Yeah, and it's not like she went fucking ballistic and like blew up half that fucking town or something, or just like
Source the first movie where she becomes power hungry and she wants to start calling the shots, and everyone's just kind of like intimidated by her personality anyway. and you're kind of like, oh shit. But Lily's not that character. She's very subdued. She's very
she's just trying to figure out who the fuck she is, really.
right.
And they're just like, instead of helping you, we're gonna just be like, bad Lily. No, bad little Lil.
Yeah. We're not hanging out with everybody. We're breaking up the band. We're out of here. 5,000. Peace. And I was like,
yeah, but it's just Lily. They're just like, no, just you, Lily. We're the three of us. We're still cool, but you, nah.
And I was like, sorry, other three girls, you shouldn't have said that because you're now going to be out of the movie.
Yeah, because this is Lily's show. And
do we go to the wake?
I think she has the I want to say she has the nightmare.
So another nightmare?
Another like major nightmare, and then she calls for the mom, and the mom's just like outside her fucking door somehow, just like instantly runs in, is just like, what's wrong? And she's just
she's like, I want to go, we got to get out of here.
She's like, we're not safe. He's dangerous. We're not, and then she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, we're not safe here. And
Lily, he's talked to you once harshly, and he cleans your pants. Like,
maybe we don't know actually. So it could have been the one you walked in on, and he was like, "There, I cleaned your pants. Don't ever walk in on me again." That's who I thought. I was like, I think it's the one she walked in on. I don't know. That's what my gut tells me. I was like, because the movie's not telling me. So
I'm making my own movie up.
Yeah, I get to pick who washed the pants. Okay. And then we're like going. Oh, and the mom's like, "Oh, I should have. We should just go somewhere fun, but like not until after the funeral or whatever." So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, and then she's just like rummaging around the house or something for some reason. Just like
And then the house always gets dark and brooding, and I don't like it's like lit really dark, and all of a sudden there's no lights anywhere, and
the family crest thing.
That happens either before or after the bad dream or the wake.
Yeah, I think it happens before the wake, because I think that's what sends her looking through the house.
So she starts snooping more because she's already snooped a little bit, and Lily's a little snooper, and the crest is she's like, oh shit. And I'm like, wow, Lily, aren't you like force sensitive and magic sensitive? And you can't sense anybody else using magic, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, and pagan
you fucking idiot.
She sees the man fucking circle thing with the stick and everything.
I thought that's after the death, because that's when that's
after the death, but before the wake, though. Yeah.
Yes. So you have the crest scene where she goes in Adam's stepdad's study, and she sees it on the wall, and it's just like perfectly aligned with the entrance, and it's like right there, real easy. And she's like, yeah, like a Resident Evil game and shit. He's like, yeah, you like stuff like this? It's magic, huh? It's like the pagans, and they're all about it. It's like, you into magic, Lily? Magic, you like magic, Lily? And Lily's like,
turn to the fucking left, and a fucking fake wall opens up, and you're just like, oh god.
You like magic like that? Like you like Magic the Gathering? I got a couple of decks we could sit here and I'll tap your mana.
What's your fucking load? What's your fucking loadout, huh?
She's like, I gotta go.
And then he says. He says the thing that makes her suspicious. He says, to be continued. Just like Timmy said before he was taken from the movie too soon. Yeah.
And then I think she has another wake up in the middle of the night thing. There's like you said earlier, there's no real sense of time in this movie.
Yeah.
And she just hears like a bunch of just testosterone and shit. And she's like, what the fuck? It just smells like a fucking locker, gym locker in here.
Yeah.
She goes downstairs and she sees this man circle. And
where's the mom? Who knows?
Mom's like, dude, it stinks in there. I'm out.
Yeah. Mom's like, listen,
they made her go get hot wings.
Yeah, you think Lily's room is great? Her room's like fucking an entire floor of the house. She's just like, this is awesome up here. I'm never coming down.
She's literally in a house behind the house.
She's like, I will definitely give you guys chicken from the kitchen whenever you want. Just don't fucking come into this room. This is great.
Lily's mom probably has a guest house, just like we did, Dustin, on Us versus Movies previous episodes. Guest house with Pauly Shore.
Yeah, she's out there with Pauly Shore. She's like, Pauly, come on, man, get your shit together. All right. Like, you're on Chubby Chasers. You're doing a lot of drugs. Like, come on.
Yes, this movie's terrible. Check it out.
This movie's terrible. Slightly better message than this movie. So
yeah. All these dudes are in a circle, and they're all just like, hey, dudes are okay. We're pretty rad. We don't stand in the way. And Lily's like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You're a man and we hate you.
And like she has such fear of this scene, and I'm like, I don't know why you're scared of anything. Because no one does. The only person that ever even touched you was Timmy. And then we saw what happened the last time he touched you.
She was like
suicide. So
she's like looking through the banister, and they're all there. And David, the Adam stepdad, is cutting a promo on Timmy. He's like, Timmy, we lost one of my son's friends, and the large older son is all like, take it back. He's like, I'm trying to hold in my emotions because crying.
No, that's medium. That's medium.
Oh, medium had the poofy hair with the beanie.
Yes,
and he's like,
the largest who we had the hookup with, who wouldn't talk to him anymore, and they show him for a second as he's just like,
oh yeah, he's shook.
That guy once.
Yeah, which is weird because he figured it would be that guy going through it, right?
Yeah, but
because of the love emotion, not the friendship. That's a missed opportunity, whatever. Yeah. And basically, the son's just like, they're all yelling and letting it out, and Duchovny's like, yeah, he was like he was a bitch. That's why he killed himself. And we don't do that. We're tough. He's weak. So I was just kind of like, well, that's probably a real issue in the world. Kids feel bullied if they're homosexual or bi, and they kill themselves, and because they have no one to turn to, or they feel embarrassed or ashamed, or people mock them. But you're going to just give it a thumbs up here? Like, you're going to condone that he was weak? And so, like, even though that's kind of a bad guy Hill thing for him to say, so he's slowly revealing his character, I thought the movie didn't really check itself on that. Yeah, where I was like, you're saying like you're inclusive and everything, but this character had a certain way of life, and you kind of
you killed him off.
You killed him off, and you lead the other characters to believe that he took his own life, but for what reason? And they don't really go into it, just because he was weak, but it's almost like they want to, and they kind of had to stop or pull back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who knows? But everyone's taken back by it, and they're yelling. I got the talkie stick. It's my turn to talk.
Yeah, don't talk if you don't have the talkie stick.
Exactly. And they yell and just testosterone. It's fucking hard being a man. So they're just yelling, counseling each other, yelling at each other.
I mean, not a white man, but, any other type of man, probably.
Exactly. And then Lily's like, this is weird. And she runs back away. Yeah. Runs upstairs.
I don't even think she runs. I think they just cut away again.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
And yeah, now she's full-blown fucking Nancy Drew in the house. Just, they're calling for her, and they're like, come on, it's time to, go to a wake, or a funeral or whatnot. And she's just like going through file cabinets or whatever, and she finds the Lily file. Because of course evil Adam has the fucking Lily file. Why wouldn't he have a Lily file?
And earlier the mom's just like, you know how I am. I put all our important papers together when I pack, and I just leave it in a fucking shoebox.
Yeah, and then she's obviously not holding a shoebox. And
I don't know what she was holding, dude. I was like,
that's like from a drawer.
Like a whole dresser drawer.
Yeah, I was just like, what are you...
But
why did you say that? They couldn't find you a shoebox?
Who has their adopted child's file filed away that says Lily with her adoption papers right there, sealed, labeled Lily's adoptions papers? And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe don't put that in the Lily file. Maybe put that in like the not labeled file.
Maybe put it in a fucking safe.
Yeah, put it in a safe. Maybe don't keep it either.
Or little Snoopy Lily can't get to shit.
Yeah.
She loves to snoop all of a sudden. That's her character development. She snooped between her legs, and now she's snooping everywhere.
So they're like an hour late to this fucking funeral by now.
Because all smoking and drinking. Yeah. Hey man, who died?
Helen had to go back up and find Lily and have a fight with her, because she's just like, "Who are you, Mom? Like, what the fuck?" And she's just like, "Lily, I got a good reason."
Mom. Been getting on my nerves for the last 18 years.
Yeah, you could just
give that shit up. I mean, I think you're only 15, but whatever. I mean, it's a little early for bean flicking and a little late for period having, but whatever, you know? I mean, it's like, Lily, you march to the fucking bean of your own flick, okay?
She's like, Mom?
Mom, I told you to stop fucking calling me that, all right?
Say it again. I'm going to fucking check your chin.
Yeah, and so she's just like, yeah, one of my patients went through some trauma. They try to beat around the bush of like, which person from the legacy is it? You know, and you're like, I know which one it is, you dumb fucks. I knew at the minute she was all overly cheat up, you fucking twats, but whatever. And then, you know, she's like, just get, you know, I'll take you somewhere, just get to the fucking funeral. And then they just slow motion walk to the funeral or the wake. I don't even know which one they're going to. I thought they were going into a church. And then like the mom's just like looking at Lily, and Lily's just like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" Like, I'll fucking curb stomp you right now, you motherfucker.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like everyone just got real aggro.
Like everyone's just got this like real sad slow motion face, but then Lily's just like, ugh. You're just like, Jesus, Lily, like calm down, okay? Now
Really?
you want to have attitude? Come on.
Yeah,
So that ship sailed ages ago. And then they're at the wake, and she tries to like tell her friends, and her friends are just like, yeah, we're not really talking to you right now.
so fuck off.
So, yeah, and Frankie's like, why don't you fucking, we're on that new shit. You're that old shit. Why don't you get the fuck out of here before New Jersey fucking wrecks your house?
I wish you would have said that.
Yeah,
I'd be like, wow.
And so she's just a real Frankie about it. You're just like, man, Frankie, you suck even when you're trying to be a dick. So, and then she force pushes her mom and runs away. She's just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
So,
she should.
And is she packing to leave or something? I don't remember. What is she doing next?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure she's packing to leave. Oh no, that's when she did the adoption thing. Like,
yeah.
At some point she just shows back up, I think, while like wandering by herself, and her mom's just like,
Helen, the mom, tells Lily she wants to move out. So she also admits about the powers. And she's like, hey, Lily, hey, I know what's going on. I know the burden you carry. Give me the burden, right?
yeah.
And then you're like, uh-oh, it's not my mom. And then mom's got this stupid ass line like, now you're playing with power to no power. And then like Lily's all about like, that.
Here's my shitty Uncle Ben line. Yeah. Your differences are your power.
I'm pretty sure it was the Nintendo Power line.
That's
and
not very catchy.
She's like, now you're playing with power.
Yeah, no, that was the much better line.
Lily's like, fuck
then Duchovny's saying it. He fucks it up. He's just like, and now the power's within you.
No, yeah, he's like,
they're just like,
Duchovny's like, they plump when you cook them.
He's like, they plump when they cook them. He just starts going through all of them. He's just like, fucking choose these moms. Choose Jif.
She's You're not like, my mom. And then she like headbutts her. And I was like, of
her,
all the moves, like
I'm like, you're like 4'3" and you're headbutting her. Like,
yeah, dude, you should have kicked him in the nuts or something. I don't know, or threw a fireball.
The worst CG transformation in the history of cinema happens, Kevin, as the beautiful Helen slowly, ever so slowly, like everything else in this movie that's somewhat even remotely important, just slowly and awkwardly
turns to the homely
into David Duchovny, and I have no idea what he was wearing. It looked like he was wearing his furry suit or something. I don't know. Like he just showed up in like
some warlock garb or something. But I was like,
was it? Who knows? Because we don't get to see it ever again. And he's just like, yeah, I only wear this once, and when I'm transforming, and then that's it. And his eyes are black, and you're like, that's actually kind of an okay look for you, Duchovny. And he's just like, you should have just given me your power, you dumb girl. And then he just like beats her to death or something for a minute. He's just like, huh. And then we go to the friends, and they're like, we got to bind Lily. She's out of fucking control. Oh no, they bind her before that.
They bind her while she got her ass beat.
Yeah, so she's trying to use her force powers because that's the only thing she knows how to use anyways. Even though she's the water one. She's the water ninja, but she's only doing fucking air ninja moves. I don't know. So,
hey, man,
yeah, they got a picture. It's the only picture we've ever seen of them, and then they put a giant orange shoelace over it so we can't even see it. And they're just like, we bind you. I was like, don't you need all four of you again to do this?
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't matter now. That's only to get things started. Once you get it started, we're just like, yeah, we're just fucking witches now. Wee. So
the movie's like, fuck you. Fuck.
Why do you still care? Okay, we revealed the bad guy. Why do you even care now? And then we're off to the woods with Father of the Year. No one cares where anyone is. No one's looking for him.
And then he just starts to act, and you're like, oh God, Christ on a cross, this is terrible.
Yeah,
and he's just talking, and he's
just
trying
saying stuff.
He's just saying stuff. He's trying to cut a promo.
Green screened, to be quite honest with you.
His acting was green screen. So like, you're not even in this scene, are you? This is all fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I honestly don't even know what he said, but he just kind of reveals that, yeah, he's a warlock, and you're like, oh, this is cool. This is a nice little, twist. I wish you had done anything to develop it, but just like the rest of your movie, you don't develop anything. You just introduce it, and then like, and we're done. Move on. Yeah. Here's the next thing we're going to introduce, and we're done. So, man, he just cuts to like the longest. I could not tell you anything he said.
Just, I'm a dickhead. Masculinity. Yeah. We do what we want. Power. I want your power. And I was like, dude, why do
you need her power? Can you establish that?
Why do you need her power? I assume you have these TED Talks around the country as they're your little cults, your little own like covens, male witch covens around the world, and you're trying to draw power.
But shouldn't he be cranked because of that? Like, that's what I didn't get. It was like,
he should be totally OP, right? Like,
yeah.
If he's like this old warlock, he has his sons that maybe you're gonna. Because that's why there's 4 of them for him. I don't know, because I'm just going off the loose rules the movie wanted to fucking sprinkle out. So I'm trying to like build this narrative in my head. I was like, well, does he want to? He apparently sensed her magic, because when she had her period, I assume he cleaned the genes to do some sort of like, Vegeta fucking power system.
He's like, I need my fucking best warlock menstrual blood analysis.
They just give him some fucking Tide, and he's like, all right.
He's like, oh my God, Tide does work.
Okay.
And they put it in the wash, it floats. He's like, it's a witch.
Yeah, dude. And I'm thinking, like, is he on the same rules? And like you said, he should be totally OP. If he senses her power, and if, quote unquote, she's the strongest of the 4, so he's not taking all their power, and the girls are already trying to bind her because she...
So what
put
power
a
does she
love spell on there, and he can't sense that her ass is bound. You know what I mean? He should be like, "Where's your power?" He should be like, "Wait, I can feel it. They've bound you." It's like the magic is 2 different magics, right? Is it just
like no one had any sense of
no one knows magic in the world. If it wasn't in that book, they all couldn't read with the fucking 58 size fucking font.
Dude, that font was easy 72. It was easy 72.
Money. Bet my house on it.
Yeah, and they were like 72 like, fucking Times New Roman, like the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. And then you're like, okay, what are the rules? Because as the viewer,
suddenly the Ouija board starts going.
Yeah, the Ouija board's like, the Ouija board's like, hey,
the Ouija boys is like, hey, yo, I'm here. I'm here to fucking MacGuffin this fucking movie.
The Ouija boys showed up. They're just like, Ouija boys. They just start Ouija
boy. They just fucking
popping a lock.
One of them spinning annoyingly for way too long, and just
they
like,
throw a Ouija board down to start breakdancing on it, and they land on the letters and shit. They're just like, wow, dude, his B-boy is communicating to me. I was like, wow, finally someone explains the magic in this movie.
Someone finally.
So the Ouija boys kick into fucking full gear. It's Timmy from the astral plane. I guess it was killed in rage with magic, because David Duchovny murdered him instead of him being out of the closet. But what? I don't. Okay, because he's a bad guy. We need a bad guy. Where's our bad guy? You, David. You'll be the bad guy because you're a fucking weirdo.
You're weird. You're weird in this movie. We don't know why you're in this movie. This is why you're in this movie. So.
And the girls are just like, oh shit, she needs our help.
Yeah, they're like, who is this? And then you have to watch him spell Timmy.
Oh my God.
And you realize how painful that joke was.
She's being murdered and chopped into pieces and burned. And Timmy's just like, hold on, let me get the other T. I fucked up. T-I.
I got to move away so you know it's two M's.
Guys, it's like writing with your left hand if you're right-handed. It's really fun, but awkward. I just get, it's like the pins in my foot. I'm terrible at this. I've been dead for like 5 seconds.
So did he know that they were witches the whole time? Who knows? Because the movie's never going to take the time to.
Because the movie's like, hey, come here. Let me tell you what I was thinking. Eat my ass.
Like, eat my fucking ass. Did you bring a spoon? Because you're going to eat my ass.
Translated, movie don't give a shit what you think. I don't care about your time.
You don't got time for that. The movie's just going to teleport fucking 3 witches to the forest, and they all brought their cool coats.
Yeah, they brought their cool coats. They're like, hey, man. We stopped at the fucking thrift shop and we know what's up. Let's hit her. Fucking Wonder Twins unite. Oh, there's 4 of us. Fuck it.
Technically, all the 3 of us are doing anything right now. When they freeze time, they do their fucking cool walk, freeze time shit. And Lily's just like, oh, thank you for, not actually listening or supporting me before, but you came to save me because Timmy, the guy I didn't kill that you blame me for his death, told you that you were twats, and now you're here. So can I say twats? Can I just throw that around? You ladies, you've been a little twatty. They're just like, all right, Lily, like, what the fuck? Calm down with the. Can't be twatting it up that much, all right?
David Duchovny's like, he does the line from the really cool line that I think's cool. Not really cool. Everyone calm down. It's a cool line. It's a cool line from the first one where they're just like, yeah, you better watch out there, ladies. There's a bunch of freaks out there, or weirdos. I can't remember which one. And then he's like,
there's a bunch of weirdos in this forest or something.
Yeah, and then that's from the first movie, and they say that to the girls, and the girls like, Mister, we are the weirdos, or we are the freaky dickies.
and it was so awkwardly forced in though, because I was like,
yeah, because he sucks.
You guys all know what you are, so why are you talking like this? Like, just fucking throw hands already. And they were like, no. This is a magic battle, and I use the term magic loosely.
Tap my mana.
And I use the term battle loosely. This is more like a cell phone game, first level boss, where you just got to tap a couple times, and you're like, oh, now I'm addicted.
It's like a turn-based Japanese PlayStation 1 RPG game where you're like, cast that spell. I'll see you in 5 fucking rounds.
It's the fucking tutorial round. Yeah, you're just like, you get to use the magic once. And you're like, oh man, how long do I? Oh, I'm like level 57 now and I get to use it again. This is bullshit.
It super took forever. And
yeah. So they just like.
They hit him with the slowdown. They hit him with the freeze time. They hit him with some sort of force ball, like some sort of water sphere.
Well, yeah, that's the dumb thing. Is so they all take turns, and David Duchovny does not move.
They hit him with the time stop.
No, he broke through that.
No,
he broke through that.
No, because they hit him, and then she hit him with the bubble to hold them, and then they passed the fire around him, and I was like, "Bitch, he's slow. Go get a branch and stab him." Like he's still a dude.
They show, yeah, I know, but no, they show
throw a rock at him
because remember, you see the New Balances because he moves his feet.
Well, yeah,
he breaks from the freeze. He's in the freeze with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does the black eye thing, and it takes him all the way out of it, and then he just stands there.
He levels up and just stands there. He lets them
because he walks over to her later after, they do.
Oh, they're special.
They do wind, and he's just like, "Hey, you got some leaves in my mouth." Like that was rude, and then he smacks New Jersey around, and then Lourdes is like, "Oh, finally, I get to do something in this movie. I got the fucking power of Earth." And then, like, nothing happens. Like, I think she shakes the ground.
Yeah,
he's just like, he's like, ooh, fucking, ooh. shaking my new bounces. Fucking
He's
old
like,
man dad
he's
shoes.
like, girl, I take his shits with more rumble than this.
Yeah, seriously. He's like, yeah, I can fucking crack porcelain. Like, try harder, okay? and he's just dressed really awkwardly, by the way. I gotta point that out. He's dressed awkwardly.
He's dressed like a dad.
Yeah, not like a warlock who's about to fucking take a witch's powers, okay? Not at all. Mm-hmm. And then Fire is just like, yeah, I can fucking fire it up. You know, I'm going to create a giant fireball. Everyone's going to sit here and watch me do it. And then he's just kind of like, I'm going to put my hand through it. I'm fine. You know? And then just like, force smacks them all away except for Lily. And conveniently throws them in each direction that they need to be. And then he just starts walking towards Lily. And he's just like, What up now? What are you gonna do now, Lil? What are you gonna do, huh?
And then Lily casts an acting spell on him, but it doesn't take.
It does not take. Yeah, she tries confusion and stun and acting. None of them take. So it's just like, but she's
personality.
Like, personality. Give a fuck. Give a fuck. Give a fuck. You know, that's none of these are taken. So
miss.
Yeah, he's like, nah. This dad gear I'm wearing, it gives no fucks. So.
David's dodged your attack. Dodged your attack.
David's defenses have risen. You're like, oh fuck. So then she just like crawls back, and then they just like hit him with a spell, and doesn't the earth just like suck him up or something? I'm trying to remember. At one point, they just start yelling fire. Oh, yeah, they just burn him. Yeah. He just stands there burning. No, doesn't shout in pain. He doesn't go, your mom's going to be disappointed. Like, nothing. He's just like...
mother sucks cocks in hell. He's just like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, he's just like, like, he just stands there, and you're just like...
Yeah, dude.
Wow, even deaths are awkward in this movie when you actually show them.
There's a song by the Blood Brothers. They do the fire, 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 and I started thinking of that. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then they didn't stop. And then I started thinking of like when Beavis and Butthead would be like, fire, fire.
Yeah. Like, and they didn't stop, and you're just like,
they didn't stop, and I was just like, all right, guys, I stopped thinking of things that make me think of fire. Please shut the fuck up.
Please shut up. But yeah, they just like the ground grabs his feet, even though he's chosen not to move at all. And time has resumed. And then they just burn him alive. And he's just like, what are you gonna do, Lily? And she's just like, I don't know, probably like go to a community college and like fool around some and, you know, maybe meet my mom. I don't know, fucking whatever.
Go to France.
Yeah. And then they're just like walking down the street, all jacket wearing again. I was like, it looks like a hot day, but whatever. So
they're into layers, man. There's a lot of layers.
Yeah. And the mom's just like, you ready? I just pulled into someone's driveway. Like, I'm just gonna park it here. And then fucking
she was on the curb or something.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? And then New Jersey's just like, hey, you fucking date any more warlocks, you fucking dick chaser?
Yeah, dude.
And they're just like, oh, Frankie, too soon. And the mom's like, yeah, it's fucking too soon. Like, I was in love. I was gonna marry that guy. Like, I moved across the country with my daughter. Like,
I had an adult relationship and emotions. You fucking twat.
And Frankie's just like, whatever, fucking Frankie out. That shit had to be said. You're just like, I don't know if you need to say anything, Frankie. So,
hey, can your mom stop dick chasing warlocks and shit so we can, hey, I'm Frankie over here.
I mean, are we going to go chase down all these other fucking warlocks and put them in the ground, Frankie style? I was just like, none of you are dealing with the repercussions or even the mental trauma of killing a man.
You're just now like, there's three teenage boys with no father.
Yeah, their fatherless.
There is
it was their entire world and upbringing.
A ton of TED Talks just got canceled.
Yeah,
groups of men throughout the country now have no guidance,
and might be very dangerous and have magical powers.
If the dad had the magic, maybe the boys do. And now, guess what? They're gonna want revenge.
Yeah, are they even like? Is she taking care? Are they still a family? Are they taking care of these boys?
Exactly.
What's the dynamic there? That would be super awkward. By the way, I murdered your father.
Because he
Even
killed that boy I kind of liked for a minute. So
even the dumbest, jockiest son, they're going to be like, what happened? This lady showed up to be my stepmom, and then my dad died. I must blame them.
yeah, exactly. Like they didn't like them to begin with. So it's just, but doesn't care. Our girls are empowered. They defeated evil. I mean, sure, he was slow walking and really just wanted her powers, and that was it. He was just like, well,
But
I can
dude,
either
like,
kill
what
you and
were
take
her
them, or you can
powers,
just
man?
give them.
Like you said,
I
dude,
don't
to
know.
take a great bath. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah,
just,
well, she was the power of water, but she just winded everything. So
yeah, dude.
I was just like, why didn't you just make Frankie water? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. You had her doing wind shit.
But
I'm
here's
pretty
the
sure
thing,
her
dude.
mom was the wind ninja in the first one. Why did you have her doing
Like,
water?
who cares? Like, why did you guys give him that archetype to deal with anyway? Like, she never lived up to it. Like, you just had him
Yeah.
do cool stuff that you saw they did in the other movie. Fuck you.
Yeah, only the fire one did any firing. So, and then yeah, they're off to meet the mom, but the adopted mom isn't coming with her at all.
This is something
Like,
she's got to
not
do
even-
herself, Dustin.
Yeah, not even in the fucking building though.
Yeah,
Like,
she's gonna pull her daughter out of school. Fuck, she never made up that detention.
yeah,
And we're just gonna just go with it, man, because we need to link this movie to the other movie because everyone loves the other
we put
movie.
legacy in it.
Because
The other one just it was just quirky and like
Hold on, let's just walk out of this
yeah,
movie.
that's fine. Yeah.
She's like, Lily's like, I'm here to see my mother, and they're like, what relation are you to? I said my mother, or what? Is there an echo in here?
She's my fucking mom. They're just like, all right, you don't need to say fuck it. Just say she's your mom. Like,
Hey, we get it.
Fuck.
Attitude. You killed a warlock, now you think you're hot shit.
oh, okay, dead ass. Let's fucking go. You want to throw hands? Let's do this.
Just
all right. She's like, okay, Jesus.
And then yeah, so apparently this person that's mentally disabled and psychopath that are just mentally just fucking triggered.
Who's
she
been
just
living in an insane asylum, basically.
No security, no nothing, just sitting on the edge of the bed, doors open. She
Yeah,
walks in there, you turn around. It's Nancy Downs from the first one. You're like, oh wow.
Yeah. She's just like, are you Nancy Downs? And she's like, who the fuck's asking? She's like, your daughter. And then the movie's just like, bye. And you're just like, oh, Jesus.
And I was like, you fucking you have the fucking cojones to sequel bait me?
Yeah. What's that sequel going to be about, Kevin?
I don't know.
Like,
Because the
the
movie,
mom gave away the daughter so she wouldn't be crazy. You have to deal with crazy. And then now the daughter's just like, found you. She's just like, okay, get out of here.
yeah,
try to steal your powers as well.
is it going to be one of those things where Nancy's committed herself and she just doesn't want to leave, and then she could have left at any time, and then is she going to take over the girls and kind of teach them how to go hard in the paint because she got
listen, I only actually had magic for 2 weeks of my life before I was in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to read the small font version of the craft.
Yeah, she's going to be like, who needs bifocals?
Oh, I definitely. Frankie's like, fucking sign me up. I'll wear two. It's just like, Frankie, that's not how they work, you idiot.
Like, dude, how about I just rip this book apart and just put all the sheets on the side of the house? This is fucking huge.
You know what? You just everyone buy a copy and just fucking eat it. I'm pretty sure that's
why isn't this on your tablets? Who the fuck reads books?
Yeah. How come there's no creases in the spine? This is one of those weird soft cover ones. Why'd you get the soft cover one? You guys can afford to make a hardcover fucking version?
They
like
got
these fucking girls are just like, nah, soft cover's fine.
They got it used on the fucking
lot.
college book website.
It was definitely new. It looked like they got it from some other witches that maybe looked at it for a week and were like, nah, we're never going to read this. Sell it on the fucking let it go.
I'm never going to do the bath spell.
Fuck it. I need 3 other women in the room to do the bath bomb spell. This is fucking...
This whole book was just one spell.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you could do, right? You could pull Nancy out, and then she could try to run roughshod over them, and then it could be
it's a horrible angle to use her, though.
Of course, it's weak storytelling, bro, because everyone wants the link because you called it the craft. You could have called this movie anything else, in all honesty. Like,
Yeah, they're like, fucking do it with Nev Campbell. I'm like, Nev Campbell was the fucking support character. You need it with the good witch. Like,
yeah, the
you
main
have to do
fucking character.
the main fucking character or the main fucking protagonist. And they went with protagonist, even though everyone was like, dude, Nev
Antagonist?
Campbell. Antagonist, sorry.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, Nev Campbell. I'm like, why? That was like a bit role for her, okay? Like, this isn't Scream. Like, I don't know. I saw a bunch of people like, I wish it was Nev Campbell. That was it. I was just like, why?
Me too. Doesn't make sense. The whole movie don't make sense, so you might as well have it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you may as well. You're right.
Because it's like her name was Bonnie. She didn't even get a last name. Like Rochelle and Bonnie from the first movie. That's their character development. Nancy Downs and Sarah Bailey. Those are your two prizes. They fucking move the movie forward, right? So it either had to be Sarah or Nancy. And Nancy was the crazy bad guy-ish that kind of got power hungry, lost her shit. And Sarah was just like, and then I thought they bound her ass at the end of the first one anyway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't remember. I just remember she was just like in the nut house after that, and it was just like, okay,
and then she went crazy because she was bound because she was so power hungry, and they cut her off. That's what I thought. What it was, whatever. But superior movie, of course, the original. This one, it's just bad. It's totally skippable. Like, I thank you for listening to us talk about it, but it's hopefully you laughed. It's just got like it's trying to do so many things and everything's so clumsy. The only redeeming part is the very beginning before you kind of queue up. It's like going on a roller coaster, right? You're going up, you're building up everything. We're getting some characters. We're getting our feet wet. And instead of it just having this fun jump off and then ups and downs and we move with the characters, it just flies off a fucking cliff. And you're like, holy shit, there was no tracks to this thing. And by the time you crash and burn, they're pulling you out of the wreckage. You're like, oh yeah, Nancy is the mom at the very end. And you're like,
and that's unfortunately, that's the entire point of the movie is just Nancy's her mom. You're like, that's why I watched this fucking piece of shit.
Like,
because go ahead, sorry.
Like, just to get to I totally agree. Just to get to that point, it's like it feels like it's an hour and 30 odd some minutes or 20 minutes to get to this. You want this gimmick? She's on the screen for 5 fucking seconds. You almost have to be paying attention to be like, what? Who was that? You know what I mean? Like they don't. There's no build up. There's no intensive.
Yeah, she looks at the camera for like 30 seconds,
and that's it.
Like, okay.
And we're out. You're like, what? Yeah. We're out of what? Like, the thing that sucks is I've written stories very close to something like this, and I felt like a genius watching this. I was like, this is what I did. It's so fucking good. This is what the very beginning. It's all the same. Like, if you would have had the girl, maybe like the mom's going down there and she's down there. The girl's just like, man, I feel like this sense, some eerie in the air. You know what I mean? Like, there's just the whole area is alive with magic. She blossoms into womanhood. Now she's force sensitive. She's picking it up from the house, so it's kind of creepy there, and she's seeing stuff. But the warlock David Duchovny dad's got he's got magic protectors, so he can protect his family, and he just doesn't come up on a magic radar where motherfuckers are sensing where he lives because he's got big plans. He needs more power. That's why he has the TED Talks, and he's sourcing the guys and their rituals. Something, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But you're so busy trying to put in your modern messages and have that representation, it starts clouding what you're trying to do with the narrative and your characters. So your characters are, like you said, that was perfect. Like, they're just like hashtags and moments, and you don't have those characters try to defeat those problems or take it into their own world and maybe use the magic as a solution or to be better or to grow. It's just Lily just does stuff. She just goes and does things.
They just do stuff.
Do stuff.
And then now that we've come kind of full circle, because again, we've already said it. It's all about getting to that ending, which honestly, when I got to the ending, I was like, I am so confused, because then that fucking trendy fucking music hits at the end, and I was just like, and the way the girls talked at the end, I was just like, who's this movie for? Because the movie's entire point is to get you to that end, to connect it to the first one. But then it's our generation that enjoyed that film, you know? So if it's just to get us to that connection, the rest of the movie's unwatchable for it's not appealing to me because I'm not of this generation.
I'll just go watch the first one again.
Yeah, exactly. But then why would you do all this work to connect to the first one for a new generation?
So they can go watch the movie too?
Yes, I don't know. It's very confusing to me of like who this movie is actually being marketed and made for and why they made these choices. Like, was that the studio? The studio's like, no, you have to connect to the first one somehow. Because that's the only thing I can think of, because the rest of the movie is definitely for, you know, a much younger, like a very much younger, we're in high school, middle school generation, and not for fucking, you know, old ass me or old ass you, because we're just like, what the fuck? I don't give a two shits up. Like, I'm so far, like, a woman on her period doesn't make me go, ew, gross. I'm just like, yeah, that's fucking, yeah.
Shit happens. I get it.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking, you should smell my butt crack right now. It's like a total swamp back there. We all got shit. We all got shit going on in our pants. Okay,
Everybody's
like worse than mine.
You know, yeah, I do. I agree. Like, they should, if they wanted to do that ending so bad, I would have had Lily just be a runaway, and she's drawn to that area because of the magic, and she's already sensitive to it, and that was. She's been snooping for her mother. She loves to snoop. And then the girls pick up on her because the girls are drawn to that area too. And you don't really need to have a bad guy all of a sudden. Like, the movie was just like, oh shit, we need a bad guy. And just have it their adventures as dealing with magics, dealing with, you know, discovery of themselves, of the world. Having her just that monkey on her back going, I feel so lost without knowing where I come from. Where's my legacy fulfilled? Go back to what we said earlier of like the girls share their legacies and they know what it's like to have that emptiness because it's defining them. Being witches is defining them. Yeah. And you get, like you said, you get the trans venture, you get Lily's or Lilith's, whatever the fucking name, Libby, Tibby,
Lilith,
shit.
Lily.
You get all their they all have a voice, right? Because like you said, the Frankie girl, I don't know anything about her except for she's loud and she has a cheetah print coat. Fuck, what is that? That's not a character.
She's just so abrasive, and I'm just like, yeah, that character sucks. Any gender, any age. Okay,
if she's loud and abrasive,
something else with it. Tell
me her legacy. There's a lot of abuse, or she had to come from a big warm family that's how they talked, and they always. It doesn't have to be harsh things. It could be positive, you know.
Or she uses that to hide her insecurities. Anything. You know?
I will take anything you give me. But they gave me nothing. Like, I would have done that movie, right? Have their adventures, and the bad guy is the struggle within themselves. They're trying to do that because I don't know.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, really, that's like you could do that. They're all runaways. They're on the run from the law, you know, and then. Throughout the whole movie, it's been sprinkled in that they're getting drawn closer and closer to that insane asylum, and still had the same reveal of like, boom, it's the mom, and that would have been 100 times better than the movie we got.
And she could be like, "You found me," and they'd be like, "Mom," she's like, "Yeah, I knew you'd come," and then she's just like, "I'm gonna put you on
part of my coven."
Exactly. Yeah. I'm the head chick. I'm running this shit. I'm going to show you what you're really made of. And I'm going to turn you guys up to 11 when it comes to the witch power. And we're really going to let them know how we feel. Oh, who's that? Is it the world? Are you going to push back? Middle fingers in the air, punk rock shit? Are you going to start like another level? Ooh, anything, right? Anything.
Yeah. And you know what would be even cooler? You see 3 skulls behind her and you're just like, oh shit, she's not bound anymore. Because those are the fucking women that bound her, and she fucking killed them to unbind herself. Done.
And then they can have a spiritual connection. She's like, don't trust her. She's crazy. I'm talking to you from the astral plane. Yeah.
We have Ouija boards everywhere.
Fucking
She's just like, I told you no Ouija boards in the fucking den, okay?
Yeah, man.
Fucking girls need to listen. Fucking bad spirits around here all over.
Yeah, dude. Like anything. Like, I would be like, I'd watch that movie 1,000 times, and we thought of that in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was a way better movie. And they still get to be girls too, you know.
Yeah, and you totally let them have that because that's what it is. It's about being a girl to being a woman, right? Yeah. And then owning all this power, being strong female characters, having depth, having voices. I'm all about it. If it matches and fits the narrative, I want to see their journey. I want to see them grow. That gets me invested. That gets me hyped. That gets me telling people, dude, you got to see this movie. What's it about? Man, it's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but it's fucking witches is sick as fuck. They got some spooky in there. They blew a dude's head off from like a gas station. It was fucking wild, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking magic missile.
They shouted off on the fucking rooftop so goddamn much. I mean, I was just like, just play the song the whole time.
Soundtrack was fucking fire. Good shit.
Yeah. Instead, it was like, how do you fix a broken high school system? Well, not like this, but we'll try anyway.
Bore me to tears and trick everybody with the title.
Did detentions matter? Find out more. So, what would you do if you bled through your pants?
Yeah.
Would you say it that way to your mom, or would you maybe be a little embarrassed when you said it? I don't know.
Mom, I ruined my pair of Jordache.
Yeah.
He's like, Jordache?
Would you even wash those pants? Or would you just be like, these are trash because of the memories associated with them in which the entire class made fun? Like, why would you put those pants on ever again?
It's not my $100 pair of Lucky Jeans where they just hug my butt just right.
Yeah, I've given up pants on for far lesser offenses to me, okay? And this motherfucker's like, nah, we wash them, we wear them again. We have that type of confidence, except for when anyone calls us out on it, and then we just crumble.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The Craft.
Legacy.
2020. You stink.
Yeah. Can't recommend it either. Not even the slightest. And that's why I brought up Who Is It For? Because if you're a fan of the old one, you're like, well, that ending's got me written all over it. But then you got to watch the rest of the shit we talked about, which is not for you unless you're a young teenage.
You know what? I can't even say it's for young people. If you just don't care about narrative, story structure, or characters, you just want to see some stuff happen. Hey, this movie's got stuff.
Well, I mean, that could be the younger generation. They seem to not care about narrative.
Hey, man, I'm not going to be that old guy yelling at clouds. It could be for someone. It's not for me. So it's just... Yeah. Good. Maybe we'll get him next time on the third Craft, whatever.
I mean, I don't. Can anyone else but Blumhouse do horror, like big horror franchises? It seems like they just are allowed to do all of them.
No one knows how to get that formula down, even though it's really easy. They're just really good at it, and I think they kind of.
Well, it seems like they're the only ones allowed that like they work with every studio and get to do whatever they want, and it's not working out too well.
I don't know if they get to do whatever they want. I think Sony was just like, hey, we have this thing. And Blumhouse was like, yeah, we'll take it from here. The studio was like,
yeah, the same thing with The Invisible Man. They were like, hey, we got this thing. And they're like, all right, we got this. So
cool. Yeah, there you go. That's the Craft 2020 legacies. Or just one legacy, which who gives a shit about everybody else? It's
that's a sequel, Legacies. Now you find out more. So but
That's it, Dustin. That's the wrap up to Spooktober.
Yep.
Spooktacular.
It was spooktacular. Happy Halloween. Hope you're having a safe and enjoyable Halloween. You can find us on social media celebrating Halloween, probably, as I'm going to just use that as a segue to tell you about our new Facebook page that I will never be checking because it's just used to help us with our Instagram page. I'm just letting people know in case they find it. They're just like, oh, should I follow it? No, I will not use that. But it exists in case you find it and you're like, is this real? Is this fake? It is real. I guess if you interact with me on it, I'll find it. But, try to stick to Instagram and Twitter where you can find us at Us Versus Movies. And you can find us on YouTube as Us Versus Movies. And otherwise, we thank you for listening. Kevin, back to you.
Happy Halloween, everybody, and take care of yourselves and each other. See you next time.